Chapter 541 If you want to fight, we will fight. Xiao Hai looked at Xiao Fan. My dear grandson, you are merciless to the enemy. Xiao Fan said in a deep voice, Grandpa, treat the enemy as cruelly and ruthlessly as the severe winter. Before showing mercy to foreigners, let them know that they cannot mess with the Dragon Empire. Xiao Hai nodded, my dear grandson, I will do as you say. Anyway, if there is trouble, it will be your business in the future. When the spirit cave allows, you should hurry up and send it over. Xiao Fan laughed, Grandpa, you should clean up the mess first. It's a mess, and it's not easy for me to deal with it. Xiao Hai said, the White Elephant Empire can be dealt with by Grandpa, but the Vulture Empire may not be so easy to deal with. Grandpa, speaking of this, there may be restrictions on sending warships over in the future. Xiao Fan frowned. Xiao Hai was not surprised. He said, some people from the Vulture Empire should have arrived there. Have they taken action? The Prime Minister and others have discussed that the Vulture Empire cannot tolerate China sending all kinds of warships over without scruples. China, did many people die? Xiao Hai looked very solemn when he said the latter. Xiao Fan shook his head, no, they killed thousands of people in Dongyang country, and the Ghost Society was destroyed by them. They used this to threaten China. Xiao Hai was stunned, and after a while he said, the guy teleported by the Vulture Empire is a talent. He can come up with such a crazy idea. My dear grandson, I think he is a bit like you in this respect. Xiao Fan. It feels like this is not a compliment to him. But there is no way, who asked Xiao Hai to be his grandfather? Can't afford to offend. Did the negotiation have any results? Xiao Hai asked. Xiao Fan shook his head, the negotiation ended unpleasantly. Grandpa, have you prepared a spirit beast? Send another spirit beast over. Increasing our deterrence ability is conducive to negotiations. Xiao Hai nodded, you go and open the spirit cave channel. Soon Xiao Fan opened the spirit cave channel, and soon Xiao Hai teleported another spirit beast, still a dog. The dog's nose is more sensitive, obedient, and has good combat effectiveness. My dear grandson, I can't send you the space ability bead this time. Xiao Hai said. Transmitting a Martial King level spirit beast consumed a lot of energy. Xiao Fan smiled and said, Grandpa, my current strength is sufficient and my strength is increasing quickly. It will not be so convenient to transmit here in the future. I will transmit the things in the warehouse to you. It took Xiao Fan more than half an hour to transmit all the things in the warehouse, including the 100,000 sets of armor in the warehouse. My dear grandson, let the factory continue to manufacture the armor. Keep this thing there, you may need it in the future. Yes. Xiao Fan nodded, Grandpa, don't you give me a few words of advice on the negotiations with the Vulture Empire? Xiao Hai shook his head, what is there to give me? You are more cunning and insidious than Grandpa, and you have China behind you. Xiao Fan rolled his eyes. 5 days later, it will still be the spirit cave. Grandpa will transmit some formation beads to you next time, and then give you and Yue ability beads. Xiao Hai's figure disappeared. Ding! Su Yue returned, and Xiao Fan received a call from Jiang Wanchen. Master Xiao, Solek and the others proposed to negotiate again. Jiang Wanchen said. Xiao Fan snorted coldly, if they want to negotiate, then negotiate. How can such a good thing happen? Let them think it through first. Director Jiang, you talk to them. I'm too lazy to talk to them now. Jiang Wanchen said, Solek has killed thousands of people in Dongyang. Will they mess around with us when they are desperate? No, they don't have the guts to do that. If they dare to mess around, what awaits them is death, as well as the death of all their families. I'm not kidding them. Xiao Fan sneered. Okay, let's leave them alone for a while. 2 days passed in a blink of an eye. Xiao Fan and Su Yue arrived in the Magic City. They sat down at the negotiation table with Solek again. Solek, you have killed thousands of people in the past few days. Have you not eaten? You don't have to give us face when you kill people in Dongyang. Xiao Fan said with a smile. Solek's mouth twitched. He killed people to threaten China, but Xiao Fan was actually excited. Xiao Fan, let's talk business. Solek said in a deep voice. Xiao Fan chuckled and said, no hurry, before we talk business, I want to introduce you to 2 friends, they want to get to know you. Pa, pa. Xiao Fan clapped his hands, and a huge, fierce-looking mastiff came out from behind the warehouse. Behind the mastiff was a martial king-level pantheran beast. It is worth mentioning that in recent times, this panther beast has discovered other oil fields, and discovered 4 more. The reserves of these 4 oil fields are not that large, but the total reserves are comparable to the super-large oil field in front. In addition to oil fields, there are rich reserves of iron ore, copper ore, and even gold ore. This pangolin beast has also discovered some. Roar! The 2 powerful spirit beasts approached, and the fierce dog growled. Solok swallowed his saliva. Xiao Fan, they are very powerful, but we can kill many people before we die. Xiao Fan said indifferently, you will be exhausted if you can't kill 1,000,000 people. You will die before you recover your strength. How many can you kill in total? Don't take this bargaining chip too seriously. If you are not sincere, I will destroy your cultivation today. If you want to kill me later, you can do it. Solok. This negotiation is really heartbreaking. First use the martial king-level spirit beast to scare him, and then destroy his cultivation. Jiang Wanchen said, Solok, I think you might as well just tell me your bottom line and see if Xiao Fan can accept it. If he can't accept it, I'll destroy your cultivation and we'll talk about it later. Solok said with a dark face, you don't seem to be very sincere. Xiao Fan said coldly, I don't have time to waste with you, just tell me your bottom line, and I'll accept it if I accept it. If you don't accept it, I'll destroy your cultivation and you can discuss it when you go back. You only have one chance, so be careful. Solok was extremely angry, but the situation was stronger than him. The bottom line of our Majesty is that the top warships of the Shenlong Empire cannot exceed 70% of our top warships. We have 13, and the Shenlong Empire cannot exceed 9. The Shenlong Empire currently has 6, so you can send at most 3 more than 3,000 tons, and the tonnage cannot exceed 4,000 tons. First-rate warships cannot exceed 70% of ours, and the same goes for third- and fourth-rate warships. Xiao Fan smiled, you, the Emperor of the Vulture Empire, still want to give me orders. You overestimate your deterrent ability. First, destroy your cultivation, and then I will tell you my requirements. Solok's face changed, no, you can't do this. If you do this, we will definitely fight back. Xiao Fan said in a calm voice, you fight back if you want to, I said, if you dare to mess around, I will blow you up with mushroom bombs. I mean what I say. At this point, Xiao Fan's powerful mental power invaded Solok's body. Puff. Solok's dantian and meridians were destroyed, and he spurted out a mouthful of blood, and his face quickly turned pale. You. Solok gritted his teeth. Xiao Fan sighed lightly, if you kill more people in Dongyang State, I might let you go. You're like you didn't eat. You only killed about 10,000 people in 3 times combined. That's too much. Let me tell you my bottom line, listen carefully. The Vulture Empire has 13 top warships, and the Shenlong Empire is not as strong as you in terms of formation. It's okay to have 5 more top warships, right? We still need to send 12 top warships over. I will decide what tonnage of warships to send, and you have no right to interfere. Solok said sternly, this is impossible. Your Majesty can't accept it. Xiao Fan said coldly, you are still an alliance, and I haven't settled this with you yet. The Shenlong Empire has 18 top warships and 200 first-rate warships. I won't send over third- and fourth-rate warships. This condition, you either accept it, or we'll just break up. I'll send over 100 top warships. Lu Zhiheng smiled and said, Xiao Fan, if a cargo ship of 4,000 or 5,000 tons goes over, it will be a top warship. Not to mention 100, you can send over 1,000 without any problem. You have to have confidence in the country's shipbuilding capabilities in this regard. Nowadays, the total tonnage launched in our country has reached 50 million tons a year. Xiao Fan said in surprise, is our shipbuilding so strong? I really haven't paid attention to the data in this regard. Solok, if you only have the 5-nation alliance targeting the Shenlong Empire, it will be the number I just mentioned. If other countries join, for each additional country, 5 top warships and 50 first-class warships will be added. Solok said coldly, Xiao Fan, I don't think you have the sincerity to negotiate at all. Jiang Wanchen said in a deep voice, the 5-nation alliance is targeting the Shenlong Empire. If the Shenlong Empire is defeated, it will have a huge impact on our China. Some senior officials in our China feel that we should fully support the Shenlong Empire. At present, the senior officials who advocate negotiations have the upper hand, but if you mess around, those who advocate full support will definitely prevail. Xiaofen stood up. I have said everything I should say. It depends on your choice. My bottom line will not be shaken in the slightest. If you want to fight, we will fight. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 542, the chip research has been completed. Xiaofen left, and Jiang Wanchen and the others left soon after. Puff. Salak spat out blood again, and his face was very pale. Kuris. Salak contacted Kuris. Sorak, what's wrong with your voice? It's weak. Kuris said puzzledly on the other end of the phone. Salak said bitterly, my cultivation was abolished. I told Xiaofen our demands, and Xiaofen angrily abolished my cultivation. What? Kuris's face changed. He said sternly, Xiaofen did this, isn't he afraid of our crazy revenge? Salak said, Kuris, are you sure you want to retaliate? We kill, and we kill ordinary Chinese people. Tearing off the face will not have any effect on him. On the contrary, he may get greater benefits from the other world. We will die, and our families will probably die by then. It is very likely that our hometown will be attacked by mushroom bombs. Kuris's face on the other end of the phone was extremely ugly. Kuris, Xiaofen showed 2 more Martial King-level monsters. It is difficult to estimate how many Martial King-level monsters he controlled. Kuris's face changed. The more Martial King-level monsters Xiaofen controls, the higher the chance that they will be killed at the beginning of the killing. What does he want? Kulis said in a deep voice. Salak said, Xiaofen wants to send a total of 18 top warships and 200 first-class warships, with no limit on the tonnage of top warships. Kulis said in a deep voice, how is this possible? They sent so many warships, what advantage do we have in the Vulture Empire? Their warships cannot exceed 70% of ours. Salak said, I just told Xiaofen this, and Xiaofen directly abolished my cultivation. You go and talk to him again. What they mean is that if we don't agree, they will send 100 or even 1,000 top warships. Kulis. If China really sends so many, then they will completely tear their faces apart, and their Vulture Empire will be finished, and China will definitely not have an easy time. The one who benefits the most is the Dragon Empire. Not to mention 1,000 top warships, even if there are 100 top warships, the navy of the Dragon Empire is enough to crush all other countries. Kuris, I'll come back by plane. When the time comes, I'll teleport back and talk to His Majesty in person. It's up to His Majesty and the others to decide. Salak said. He wanted to go back to see if he could recover his cultivation. Yeah. Salak staggered out of the warehouse. He felt extremely miserable. He was fine when he came. Xiaofen was not a man of honor for his cultivation to be abolished during the negotiation. Master Xiao, will the Vulture Empire agree? What if they completely fall out and kill people wantonly? Jiang Wanchen said with some worry. Xiaofen chuckled and said, Director Jiang, the conditions we proposed are not particularly harsh. They have 13 top warships, and the leader of the alliance also has them. Together, their strength is not weaker than that of the Dragon Empire. If they agree to our conditions, they still have a chance. If they don't agree, we will send a large number of warships over. How can they deal with it? If they fall out, they will die. Lu Zhiheng said in a deep voice, Director Jiang, even if they kill some people, we must insist on what we should insist on. Otherwise, it will be easy to be led by the nose, and the losses will be greater in the long run. Yeah. Jiang Wanchen nodded slightly. Master Xiao, can we send one of the Martial King-level monsters to the Imperial Capital and have it guard the Imperial Capital? Xiaofen said, yes, you can take Wang Cai back. The Martial King-level fierce dog next to Xiaofen hung its head. Wang Cai. Jiang Wanchen said in a daze. Xiaofen said helplessly, Black King, Xiao He, Xiao Huang, Xiao Tian, all the names have been used up, I don't know what to give it. Jiang Wanchen's mouth twitched, you can't give it such a casual name. Wang Cai doesn't fit its image. Xiaofen said, just call it Wang Cai. I've bought too many things recently, and my money is almost gone. Calling it this name is just right to give me Wang Wangkai. On the battleships and submarines, Xiao Fan didn't spend much money. The country basically sold them half and gave them away, but he spent a lot of money on various machines. Every day, a steady stream of various machines and machine tools were sent to Leishan County. Even if the country gave preferential treatment, the money spent was very high. Xiao Fan only has a few billion yuan on his card now. This money is indeed a lot for ordinary people, but it is not much for Xiao Fan. Many machines cost hundreds of millions or even tens of millions. How much can a few billion buy? Besides, Tianhe Group may need to invest money. Director Jiang, is there any good news from the Research Institute recently? Xiao Fan asked. He provided a lot of samples for the Research Institute, and a lot of various things were researched, but the value was average. Xiao Fan made a lot of money on the Blue Spirit Potion, and the money earned from other things combined was not even half of the Blue Spirit Potion. Jiang Wanchen said, the Research Institute has been trying to find a way to conquer cancer. Great progress has been made, but there is still a long way to go before success. There is an eye drop that will be available soon. This can restore vision. It is estimated that there will be a good market abroad. Many people in China have improved their vision through cultivation. Xiao Fan sighed. This can make a lot of money, but it will definitely not be as much as the Blue Spirit Potion. This is not so urgent. Poor vision can be made with glasses. We still have to make a breakthrough at Tianhe Group. Xiao Fan thought to himself. If the carbon-based chip is developed, he can make a lot of money. Wang Sai, you must listen to the orders of the elders when you go there. If anyone messes up in the imperial capital, you will deal with it immediately. Xiao Fan touched Wang Sai's head and said. Wang Sai nodded. Soon Jiang Wanchen and the others left. Wei, let's go to Tianhe Group to have a look. Yes. Xiao Fan and the others are now in the Magic City. Not long after they entered the Tianhe Group, Shen Jingshan soon came to Xiao Fan. Shen Jingshan has his own company, but now he has handed his company over to a professional manager and devoted himself to Tianhe Group. Uncle Shen, how is the research going? Xiao Fan asked. Shen Jingshan said with a smile, Boss, you came at the right time. We are working on 5 nanometers chips. It should be these few days. Our technology is different from foreign silicon-based chips. If we conquer 5 nanometers, it won't take long for us to conquer 3 nanometers. Boss, you are going to make a fortune. Xiao Fan followed Shen Jingshan to the experimental area. Many people were busy here, led by a group of experts who had been to the other world before. Their cultivation has improved and their abilities are stronger. And with their cultivation improved, they can be busy for 3 to 5 days without sleeping. Hello, boss. Hello, boss lady. Seeing Xiao Fan and Su Yewei, many people greeted them. Xiao Fan smiled and said, you guys are busy with yours, I'll just take a look. Shen Jingshan took Xiao Fan to the test area. Boss, we have actually made a 5 nanometers carbon-based experimental chip. We are currently studying how to mass-produce and improve the yield rate. Shen Jingshan said as he picked up a small chip. Both are 5 nanometers. Compared with silicon-based chips, what are the differences in performance and energy consumption? Xiao Fan approached the chip handed over by Shen Jingshan and asked. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 543, The Anger of Emperor Morgan. Shen Jingshan said with a smile, also 5 nanometers, our chip performance is about 20% stronger and energy consumption is 30% lower. At present, the yield rate is still a little bit worse. A group of experts are working hard to deal with it. It will take 3 days at the shortest and a week at the longest. The yield rate should barely meet the requirements. There is still room for improvement in subsequent performance and yield rate. Xiao Fan's eyes showed surprise. What about the price? Xiao Fan asked hurriedly. The performance and energy consumption are better, but if the price exceeds a lot, it will be useless. Whether it can be sold or not is still determined by the market. Shen Jingshan said with a smile, Boss, our price advantage is big. The manufacturing price of our chips is about half of that of our competitors. Xiao Fan said puzzledly, half? This advantage is not small, but it doesn't seem to be as big as you said. Boss, the manufacturing cost and the selling price are different. The current chips are high premium. The cost price of a chip sold for 500 yuan is not even 50 yuan. Shen Jingtian said with a smile. Xiao Fan took a deep breath. If they smash the chip price to cabbage price, many foreign chip manufacturers will cry, right? But there is no need to lower the price so much, they also want profit. Boss, there are 3 things at the moment. First, what is the name of our chip? Second, when will the press conference be held? Can you attend? Third is the price of the chip. Shen Jingshan said with a smile. Xiao Fan thought for a while and said, let's call the chip Yanwang chip. You can handle the press conference. I won't attend. As for the price of the chip, what do you think is appropriate? Shen Jingshan said, Boss, the result of our discussion is that it is better to set the price of the chip at 1/3 of the same level of the same foreign chips. This way we can quickly occupy the market, and our profit is still relatively high. Xiao Fan nodded slightly, then set it at 1/3. You have to ensure the quality of the chip, quality is the first priority. Our performance already has a considerable advantage in the same level. You should focus on quality and avoid a lot of quality problems. Shen Jingshan said, Boss, don't worry, we will strictly control the quality. We always put quality first. Xiao Fan nodded. Uncle Shen, I'm still confident in your work. My strength has improved recently. I'll strengthen the formation here to prevent the enemy from infiltrating and causing trouble. This is outrageous. The Emperor of the Vulture Empire was furious. Salak came back, and he had already listened to Salak's detailed report. Your Majesty, Xiao Fan is so arrogant, we have to teach him a lesson. Let's kill hundreds of millions of Chinese people first. If we kill too many, they may give in. The minister said murderously. Another minister said, Your Majesty, we are all very angry about this situation, but I think we have to think carefully. Our killing of millions of Chinese people will not have any substantial impact on Xiao Fan, and it will strengthen the voice of the Chinese war faction. If they really send warships here like crazy, how will we deal with it? Can we defeat hundreds of thousands of top warships? The old ministers have studied the history of China. They are usually quite gentle, but if it involves core interests, they will not back down. Another minister said, Your Majesty, if we do that, China may really throw mushroom bombs, and it will be difficult for us to deal with it. It is very likely that both sides will suffer losses. Only the Dragon Empire will benefit. The Emperor of the Vulture Empire frowned. What he least wanted was for the Dragon Empire to benefit. Your Majesty, mushroom bombs are secondary. That thing may not be used here. The main thing is that China may send a large number of warships. The Chinese army is extremely strong. If we get a large number of top warships, our Vulture Empire will not have any advantages at all. The other ministers also spoke up. More than 80% of them opposed killing in China. Most of them were still very rational. The number Xiao Fan said was barely acceptable. In this case, there was no need to risk their lives. Even if the Vulture Empire is not the strongest in the future, it will be no problem to unite with other countries to protect itself. Salak, do you think there is still room for reduction? The Emperor of the Vulture Empire, Morgan the Great, said in a deep voice. Salak smiled bitterly and said, Your Majesty, I'm afraid it won't work. Xiao Fan may still have a little hope that we will provoke a war. That way he will get more benefits. Morgan the Great's face was gloomy. He was very annoyed. If they disagree, then Xiao Fan, who he disliked the most, and the Dragon Empire will both benefit. He felt heartbroken just thinking about it. Your Majesty, Xiao Fan said that there are 18 top-notch warships and 200 first-class warships. It will take time for these to be delivered. Even if they are delivered, it will take time for the Dragon Empire to transform. We can destroy some of the Dragon Empire's warships before that. Then our navy will still have the advantage. A big man from the navy spoke up. The eyes of the Vulture Empire lit up. This made him feel a little more comfortable, but it was not so easy to kill the Dragon Empire's navy. Your Majesty, I think this is a good idea. As long as we can destroy some of the Dragon Empire's warships, the first place in the navy is still ours. Our warships can fly, and we will still have the advantage for a long time. Many ministers spoke up one after another. They didn't want Emperor Morgan to get carried away. That's it. Send the message to Earth. I agree. Emperor Morgan gritted his teeth and said, "But I have one condition. Xiaofan must let the spirit beast that blocked the spirit cave leave Leishan County." 5 days were up, and Xiaohai contacted Xiaofan again. Xiaohai sent ability beads to Xiaofan and the others, and also sent a lot of formation beads, a little more than last time. The 4055s in the northern base can all be equipped with protective shields. "Grandpa, are General Shen and his team progressing smoothly?" Xiaofan asked while transmitting things in the warehouse. Xiaohai smiled and said, "They are very successful. They will probably be able to get close to the capital of the White Elephant Empire in 2 or 3 days. Do you think we should be ruthless?" What Xiaohai meant by ruthless was to massacre the city. Xiaofan said, "Grandpa, they should surrender. Let's follow the old rules. It will be more beneficial to let them tear apart in the long run." "What else?" Xiaohai asked. Xiaofan thought for a while and said, "The guys who advocate war must be dealt with, the emperor must give up the throne, and the White Elephant Kingdom must be divided into 3 or 4 countries. Then there is the cession of land, compensation, and garrison. We have experience in these aspects before." Xiaohai nodded with a smile. "Okay, let's do as you say." Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 544055 Freedom trip to the United States, the west coast of the United States. The sun rises, and 2055s cut through the waves. These 2055s are not here for a friendly visit. China had previously proposed a friendly visit request, but the United States refused. So this time, they are here for free sailing. If the enemy can go, we can go too. "Captain, we are likely to be discovered if we go further," the deputy captain next to Tan Jian said. Tan Jian smiled and said, "If they don't find us, then it would be a waste of time. We haven't entered the territorial waters of the United States. We are just sailing freely. Keep going." "Yes." Tan Jian communicated with the captain of another 055, and the 2 ships continued to move forward dozens of kilometers apart, only dozens of nautical miles away from the coast. Woo, woo, a shrill alarm suddenly sounded at a base in the United States. "What's going on?" a general at the base asked quickly. "General, the radar detected a Chinese warship, and it is less than 50 nautical miles away from our coastline." The general's face changed. "Immediately strengthen the detection in that direction, dispatch reconnaissance drones, and mobilize nearby satellites to track and monitor immediately." "Yes, General." Not long after, another 055 destroyer of China was also found. "Damn it, how dare they?" The news was reported, and the U.S. Commander-in-Chief was furious. It has always been their warships that have been free to sail in other countries. Now the Chinese warships are actually sailing freely at their doorstep. Drive them away immediately. Chinese warships, we can't let them be arrogant along our coast. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief immediately issued an order. The military took action quickly, and several warships rushed towards the 2055s of China, and they kept shouting to drive them away. Ha! The fighters came first. They roared through the nearby airspace. In the past, Tan Jian and his men would be a little nervous. If the fighters attacked them, they might catch them off guard. Now they are not afraid at all. Their warships have a defense shield arranged by Xiaofan. They can block a few missiles fired by the enemy, and their missiles are not vegetarian. How many missiles do several fighters have in total? The 2055s are now fully ammunition, with more than 900 missiles in total. They are not afraid of a fighter group coming over. Listen, Chinese warships, if you continue to move forward, we have the right to attack you. One of the fighter pilots said angrily. Tan Jian picked up the intercom. Don't be nervous, it's just free navigation, you Americans are experienced in this. As for what you said about attacking us, you can try. If you dare to open fire, our warships will definitely be fine, and you will go to see God. Several fighters turned around for a while and left in disgrace. They really didn't dare to open fire, because the missiles of 055 were much stronger than theirs. Captain, their warships are coming. An hour later, the deputy captain Yang Changda said. Tan Jian smiled and said, slowly increase the speed and measure their maximum speed. Maybe they have been hiding before. Yes, Captain. Their warship quickly accelerated, and the American warships also accelerated. It didn't take long for several American warships to reach the highest speed. It seems that the United States has not hidden it. Their warships can only run so fast. 31 knots, not as fast as our 055. Tan Jian said with a smile. Captain, should we speed up? Yang Chengda asked. Tan Jian shook his head. Just keep going at this speed and see how stable and endurance their warships are at top speed. 31 knots is an economic speed for us, let's play with them. Yang Didi nodded. A few miles apart, the warships of both sides were moving fast, and the captains of several warships on the U.S. side secretly complained. It's not right not to track and monitor them. Tracking and monitoring, they are moving at such a high speed, the pressure on the warship's power system is not small, maybe their warships will go on strike. Captain, what should we do? The top speed of China's 055 is 46 knots, they are playing tricks on us. The deputy captain of one of the U.S. warships said. Fuck. The captain cursed, he didn't know what to do in this situation. When has the U.S. Navy ever been so frustrated? They have always been the only ones who sail to other countries and mess with other people's mentality. Captain, they are advancing more than 10 nautical miles from the coast. Although they have not entered our territorial waters, people on the shore can see them. If we go all the way like this, we will lose face. Should we send out powerful evolvers to drive them away? The deputy captain asked again. The captain shook his head and said, the evolvers will not be dispatched. No one knows whether there are powerful spirit beasts on the Chinese warships. They may do this to deliberately lure our evolvers out. Report the news and let the higher-ups negotiate with the United States. Soon they reported the news. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief got the latest news, and he was in a bad mood. The Chinese warships are advancing along the coastline, which is a face-to-face attack. Can't we open fire and sink them? The U.S. Commander-in-Chief said angrily. Commander-in-Chief, I'm afraid this won't work. The Chinese warships have defense shields, but ours don't. If we open fire, we may suffer. In addition, there may be Martial Emperor-level spirit beasts on the Chinese warships. A big man in the military said gloomily. They also wanted to open fire, but the result of the discussion was that if they opened fire, several of their warships would most likely be sunk. China's 2055s might not be in trouble. General, China's warships did not enter our territorial waters. According to international law, we cannot attack them now. We used to sail freely like this. Another big shot in the military said. The U.S. general. It was very comfortable when their own warships sailed freely, but now that China's warships did this, his nose was crooked. General, let's solve it diplomatically. Strongly condemn China's behavior, or use economic means to sanction them. The Chief of Staff said. Opening fire and attacking is the worst option. China is not easy to mess with. Even without Xiaofan and the powerful spirit beasts controlled by Xiaofan, China's H-6 can be invisible. God knows how many can be invisible now. In terms of the Navy, the 055 has a maximum speed of 46 knots and a protective shield. They don't know whether the attack has been strengthened. There are also submarines. Did Xiaofan also set up formations for submarines? Let the Ministry of Foreign Affairs speak out and strongly condemn China's provocative behavior. This is a serious violation of the existing international rules and order. The Ministry of Commerce should immediately increase sanctions. The U.S. President said sternly. He couldn't stand this humiliation. Soon the U.S. took action. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs severely condemned it, but the Chinese side took it lightly and even felt a little happy when they heard the sanctions from the other side. Midline Horizontal Ellipsis Chapter 545 Yanhuang Chip Release Conference Ding Ding. Xiaofan received a call from Shen Jingshan. Boss, the United States has strengthened its chip sanctions against China. High-end and low-end chips are prohibited from being sold to China. Shen Jingshan said happily on the other end of the phone. Xiaofan smiled and said, has the yield rate reached the requirement? Boss, it has, and it has exceeded it a little. Boss, we are planning to hold a press conference, and everyone wants you to attend. Everyone has worked so hard for so long, you see, Shen Jingshan said. Xiaofan said, Uncle Shen, the main thing is that if I go there, many people may just buy blindly to give me face. Shen Jingshan smiled and said, "Boss, our products are of good quality, good value for money, and they won't lose anything if they buy them. For home desktop computers, our mid-range chips are only about 300 yuan, and the price of high-end chips is no more than 1,000. Besides, everyone knows that Tianhe Group is controlled by you, boss. Even if you don't go, won't others buy it?" Xiaofan thought for a while and said, "Okay, I'll go. The company will have a dinner or something, and everyone can draw some benefits." Shen Jingshan's eyes lit up. "Boss, what are the benefits?" Xiaofan said with a smile, "There are two kinds of benefits. The first one is a 1-month trip to another world. There are 10 places available. After you go there, you can practice in another world for a month. When you come back, you should be able to reach the acquired level of cultivation. If you are talented, you may even reach the innate level." Shen Jingshan's breathing became rapid. He also wanted this benefit. The second benefit has more places, about 100 people. The prize for the winners ranges from 10,000 to 100,000. You can arrange it. Shen Jingshan said with a smile, "Boss, I know why the employees must want you to participate. If you participate, they will benefit a lot. Boss, the press conference will be held tomorrow. What do you think?" Xiaofan said in surprise, "Will it be in time tomorrow?" "Boss, it's not a big problem. The United States has already imposed sanctions. We must hurry up to launch the Yanwang chip. We can't waste their kindness." Shen Jingshan said. "Okay, then hurry up." Soon, Tianhe Group issued a notice that a press conference for the Yanwang chip will be held at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and Xiaofan will also attend. "Oh my God, the United States just announced sanctions against us, and we announced overnight that we will hold a Yanwang chip press conference tomorrow. What kind of operation is this? We just got good news from the Navy, and now there is good news about the chip. I don't know how the Yanwang chip is. If it was another Chinese company that released a chip, I wouldn't expect it at all, but it was Grandmaster Zhao's Tianhe Group. Many foreign chip company bosses are probably panicking." Tianhe Group released the news, and the news immediately spread like wildfire on the internet. Many people in China now know that Xiaofan holds nearly 80% of the shares of Tianhe Group, which is an absolute controlling stake. Other companies may cheat people, but Xiaofan doesn't need to do so. Xiaofan has the reputation, strength, and money. China is making chips. I don't think it will be very good. China's chip counterfeiting is not the first or second time. It is possible that China is just using this method to put pressure on the United States to lift the chip ban. Even if their chips come out, they will definitely be low-end chips. When the news spread abroad, many people were skeptical. They didn't want China to make a breakthrough in chips. Damn it, we're in trouble. Their chips are definitely out. I just hope their chips are of poor quality and not too cheap. Unlike the optimism of ordinary people, many chip tycoons are panicking. In a blink of an eye, it was the next day. Xiaofan and Su Yowei arrived in the Magic City, and then they took a stretched red flag sedan to the hotel where the press conference was held. Master Xiao. Goddess Su. Xiaofan and Su Yowei got off the car, and many people shouted excitedly. A large number of media reporters took photos frantically. It was rare for Xiaofan and Su Yowei to appear in public like this. Master Xiao, may I ask, will today's press conference release low-end chips or high-end chips? Master Xiao, I don't know what stage the Tianhe Group's research has reached. Many reporters asked hurriedly. Xiaofan chuckled and said, "Everyone, your questions will be answered at the press conference, and I will definitely not disappoint you." Many people's eyes lit up. Xiaofan's words were very important. "I will not disappoint you, but it is unlikely that only low-end chips will be released." "Hello, Master Xiao." "Hello, Goddess Su." Xiaofan and his friends arrived at the venue, and many people greeted them. Many big stars came to today's press conference. They were not invited, but they took the initiative to contact the Tianhe Group. Xiaofan and Su Yowei came here, and today's press conference must be watched by countless people. How can they not come to take advantage of the popularity at this time? In the past, these stars could basically sit in the front when attending the press conference, but now they can only sit in the middle. There are many business and political leaders ahead. Compared with those leaders, these stars are nothing. I'm looking forward to it. Why hasn't the live broadcast started yet? That's right, hundreds of millions of people are waiting. The press conference was live broadcasted online, and the number of viewers reached 100 million even with a black screen. Even with the restrictions on barrage, there were still a lot of comments. Fortunately, knowing that Xiao Fan and Su Yowei were coming, the live broadcast bandwidth was fully prepared, otherwise it would probably crash. Here we go. It's finally started. With only 5 minutes left before the press conference, the live broadcast finally started, and the number of viewers soared rapidly, and soon the number exceeded 300 million. Xiao Fan and Su Yowei both have hundreds of millions of fans. Everyone, welcome to the first press conference of Yanhuang chips. Shen Jingshan came to the stage. We have a total of 6 chips released today. 3 each of civilian grade, enterprise grade, high-end and low-end chips. Some people from foreign chip companies arrived at the scene. They felt very bad after hearing this. Tianhe Group was going to catch them all in one fell swoop. If the chip performance and price were both good, they would be in trouble. Let's get straight to the point. Let's introduce the first one, Yanhuang 3. Yanhuang 3 is a low-end civilian chip. Its performance is as follows. Shen Jingshan kept introducing it, and the people from foreign chip companies looked unhappy. The performance of Yanhuang 3 exceeded that of low-end chips of the same level by 40%, and the energy consumption was also 30% lower. Let's talk about the price last, and now introduce Yanhuang 2, Shen Jingshan said with a smile. It took Shen Jingshan half an hour to introduce the performance of all 6 chips, and the performance exceeded that of foreign chips of the same level. Now it depends on the price. The price difference is not big, and consumers are still likely to choose our chips. Our chip quality is more reliable. The foreign chip bosses thought to themselves. Many people who didn't come were also paying attention to this press conference. Ladies and gentlemen, the final thing is the price. How about letting Xiao Fan, the boss of our Tianhe Group, announce the price? Shen Jingshan said with a smile. Good. Many people at the press conference shouted excitedly. Warm applause quickly broke out. Xiao Fan stood up and walked onto the stage with a smile. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 546, the price is announced and everyone is dumbfounded. Many foreigners in the audience looked solemn. Some people from Taiwan also looked at Xiao Fan on the stage nervously. With Xiao Fan's reputation and status, they knew that the performance of the chip was unlikely to be fake. The key was the price of the chip. The price of Yanhuang number 3 must not be less than 300. The price of Yanhuang number 2 must not be less than 900. The price of Yanhuang number 1 must not be less than 2,500. A boss from South Korea prayed silently in his heart. If the price is not lower than this, the competitiveness of their company's products will be relatively strong, otherwise it will definitely encounter a certain impact. Master Xiao, give us a surprise. What surprise do you want? Even if the price is expensive, I will go for it. Just think of it as a reward to Master Xiao. I have reached the dark energy level by practicing Yanhuang Ju. I have already reached the transformation energy level. I support Master Xiao without thinking. I must buy it, but I still hope that domestic products are cheaper, otherwise they may not be too competitive in the face of foreign chips. Countless barrages continued to emerge in the live broadcast room. Xiao Fan waved his hand, indicating Shen Jingshan to take the microphone away. With his cultivation, there was no need to use the microphone at all. Everyone, welcome. Thanks to the efforts of many people from top to bottom of Tianhe Group, the Yanhuang chip finally meets everyone today. Xiao Fan said with a smile. He did not speak loudly, but everyone heard it clearly. Regarding the price of the product, many netizens and many foreign peers are paying attention. I will not keep you in suspense and announce it directly. Yanhuang number 3, the price is 99. Yanhuang number 2, the price is 299. Yanhuang number 1, the price is 899. When Xiao Fan said this, countless messages suddenly appeared in the live broadcast room of hundreds of millions of people, and the live broadcast room suddenly became stuck. Numb, I am numb. I knew that the price of the chip would definitely drop if it was made in China, but I didn't expect it to drop so much. If you don't play large-scale games, Yanhuang number 3 is enough. 99, you can't lose money or be cheated at this price. Foreign manufacturers probably won't be able to sleep. Netizens were extremely excited. The price of chips is not to say that it has become a cabbage price, but the price of low-end processors is less than 100, which is no different from cabbage price. In some countries, a cabbage is more expensive than this. It's over. How can we sell our chips at such a low price? Fuck. Many foreign counterparts who were watching the live broadcast looked extremely ugly. This price was going to kill them. They didn't know the cost of the Yanhuang chip, but they knew their own costs very well. This price was already lower than their costs. If they wanted to survive, they couldn't sell at such a price, but if they sold at a higher price, the market would definitely be swallowed up. Master Xiao, you can't sell at such a low price. This is disrupting the market, this is unfair competition, and it undermines the international order. Someone from the United States shouted at the venue. Xiaofan said in a calm voice, when the United States and you, the United States, sanctioned us, why didn't you say it was disrupting the market? When all kinds of sanctions were imposed on China, you should have thought of this day. We Chinese are not afraid of sanctions. What can't defeat us will only make us stronger. After Xiaofan finished speaking, warm applause broke out in the venue. Although there were some foreigners present, they only accounted for a small part after all, and the vast majority of people present were Chinese. Ladies and gentlemen, the next is the price of enterprise chips. Xiaofan soon said the price of enterprise chips. Many Chinese business owners were very excited. The price of Yanhuang Enterprises chips was also much lower, and the safety was higher. What everyone was worried about now was the quality. For enterprises, the reliability of chips was still very important. After talking about the price, Xiaofan came down from the stage. Shen Jingshan came back on stage and smiled, everyone, I'm sure you are all concerned about when the Yanhuang chip will be officially launched. The official website will open a pre-sale channel for civilian-grade chips soon. The first batch of low-end and mid-range chips will be 400,000 each, and the high-end chips will be 200,000. The first batch of pre-sales will have a 10% discount. Before Shen Jingshan finished speaking, the traffic in the live broadcast room plummeted, and many people quickly flocked to the official website of Tianhe Group. Why can't I log in? Oh my god, the login is restricted. Whose hand speed is faster than my 30 years of being single? The official website of Tianhe Group does not have such a large bandwidth, so it directly adopts a flow-limiting method, and can only access it to a maximum of 2 million people. Everyone, I just received news that the first batch of Yanhuang chips has been sold out. We will open the pre-sale of the second batch as soon as possible. Shen Jingshan smiled. He was not surprised by such a result. Domestic chips can't be sold. That depends on whose company it is. More than 1 billion people in the country have practiced the Yanhuang Ju, and the benefits they have gained are real. Who wouldn't be willing to spend a few hundred to support Xiaofan? Even if Xiaofan sells bricks, a few hundred yuan a brick will definitely sell out in minutes. Millions of Yanhuang chips have been sold just like that. If they feel good after experiencing it, our doomsday will come. I hope their quality is rubbish. Many foreign chip tycoons were as if their parents had died. The performance is more than 30% better than their peers, and the price is only 1/3 of theirs. How can we play this game? Boss, should we hire a cyber army to discredit us? The general manager of a US company said. The boss looked at him coldly, do you think we are too old? With Suyui's network ability, can we hide it from her by hiring a cyber army? If Xiaofan finds out, do you think he will reason with us? The manager shrank his neck and lowered his head. The boss looked depressed. They had used such means before. But this method is useless against Xiaofan. Xiaofan will not reason with them. If they dare to mess with him, Xiaofan will dare to kill them. Has anyone got the chip? If not, immediately purchase it from the Chinese who bought the chip and conduct a thorough inspection of the Yanhuang chip. After a while, the boss said in a deep voice. Yes. All major manufacturers do the same thing. If there is really a problem with the Yanhuang chip, they can expose it openly. Half a day later, some people who lived nearby had received the express delivery. It looks like Intel's chip. The official website said it is compatible with motherboards that support Intel chips. I don't know if it's true. Some people who received the express delivery quickly installed the chips. God bless. Many people prayed secretly. Soon their computers started up, and the startup speed was very fast. Oh my God, so fast. As the official website said, the system doesn't need to be reinstalled. Many people who successfully started up quickly conducted various tests. The next day, more people received the chips. Various professional evaluations also came out. How is it? A foreign chip tycoon made a video call. Boss, we tested a total of 30 chips, 10 each for low-end, mid-end, and high-end, and found no quality problems. The performance is a little better than what they advertised, and the energy consumption is 30% lower than our chips of the same level. The chip tycoon felt bitter, and there was no surprise. Boss, the pins of the Yanhuang chip are the same as ours, isn't this infringement? The chip tycoon shook his head. If the opponent was someone else, they would definitely win the lawsuit. But if it was Xiaofan, it was impossible for them to win the lawsuit based on this issue. Even a fist-sized washing powder could be turned into a weapon of mass destruction. Xiaofan's fist was much bigger than theirs. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 547, White Elephant Empire surrenders in another world, the White Elephant Empire. Boom. 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 Shen Jingtian and his 300,000 Shura Corps soldiers have gathered, and 300,000 heavy cavalry are rapidly approaching the capital of the White Elephant Empire. The earth is shaking. On the wall of the capital of the White Elephant Empire, Emperor Sandrum's face is pale. Your Majesty, please leave quickly. It's not too late to leave now. Someone next to Sandrum persuaded him. If I surrender, the Dragon Empire should not kill me. If I leave the Imperial City, I may be killed by their strong men. Sandrum said in a hoarse voice. He never expected this result. The White Elephant Empire has 200 million people and 1 million troops. It occupies a favorable geographical location. He originally thought that even if they didn't win, they would definitely have no problem protecting themselves. Who would have thought that their soldiers were so weak and the Shura Corps was so strong, and many of their cities surrendered directly? In just 10 days, the Shura Corps actually killed their imperial city. Originally, they joined the Five Nations Alliance to invade the Dragon Empire, but in 10 days, it became a battle to defend the imperial city. Maybe it can't be said that way, because he didn't plan to resist. With 300,000 Shura cavalry and various firearms, the walls of their imperial city were useless even if they were tall. Pass the order, open the city gates. Welcome the army of the Dragon Empire into the city. Sundram took a deep breath and said in a deep voice. The people around him were angry, but at the same time they were relieved. If they surrendered, they would not have to die. The consequence of resistance is to be massacred. Creaky. The huge city gates slowly opened. Sundram led many people from the White Elephant Empire to the outside of the city to greet them. The sun was scorching above their heads, but they didn't care at all. General, the White Elephant Empire opened the city gates and surrendered, said a soldier who controlled the drone to check. Yeah. Shen Jingtian nodded slightly. This situation was not beyond his expectations. 300,000 Shura cavalry came. What could the White Elephant Empire use to resist? Tens of thousands of shells would blow up the entire imperial city. It's terrible. This momentum is too strong. Countless Shura cavalry approached, and the people of the White Elephant Empire were extremely shocked. The oppression brought to them by the Shura cavalry was too strong. I am the Emperor of the White Elephant Empire, Sundram. On behalf of the White Elephant Empire, I surrender to the Dragon Empire. I hope the war will stop and our two countries can coexist peacefully forever. I joined the Five-Nation Alliance led by the Vulture Empire because I was bewitched by traitors on the one hand and pressured by the Vulture Empire on the other hand. Sundram said loudly. He sat on the Emperor's imperial chariot, taller than Shen Jingtian who was riding on a horse. Shen Jingtian said in a calm voice, Sundram, you need to abdicate, and the throne will be passed to 3 princes respectively. The White Elephant Empire will be divided into 3 countries. Sundram's face changed drastically. General Shen, you can't do this. I am the Emperor of the White Elephant Empire. You have no right to ask me. Shen Jingtian said coldly, this is what Our Majesty meant. You can choose to accept it, or you can choose to die. Sundram's face was extremely ugly. Give you 3 breaths of time to think about it. Sundram quickly said in a hoarse voice, the 3 princes will be designated by me. Shen Jingtian shook his head. You think too much, Our Majesty has already determined which princes will inherit the throne. Sandrum's face became even uglier. Xiao Hai was sure that Xiao Hai would definitely let 3 people who had bad relations with each other inherit the throne, and the White Elephant Empire would be completely divided in the future. Sandraram, do you have any objection? Shen Jingtian released murderous intent. No. No, Sandram said dejectedly. It has come to this point, what opinion can he have, dare he have any opinion? Shen Jingtian nodded slightly, very good. Aren't you White Elephant Empire good at dancing? Why didn't anyone dance to welcome us? Sandram. He was very upset, but he immediately arranged it. While many White Elephant Empire girls sang and danced, 100,000 Shura Legion soldiers entered the imperial city, and 200,000 were outside. You 3 will inherit the throne separately. Many of your royal family and subjects are against our Shenlong Empire. How much territory you will be allocated depends on your performance next. If you perform poorly, let someone else inherit the throne. After entering the palace, Shen Jingtian designated 3 of the princes to succeed the throne. Xiao Hai had already decided which princes to choose from. These 3 princes did not have a good relationship with each other. Your Excellency, we don't have military power. One of the princes said. Shen Jingtian said calmly, kill those who don't obey you, and you will have military power. We can help you in this regard. Thank you, Your Excellency. The 3 princes were given temporary command of 10,000 Shura Iron Cavalry respectively, and they led the Shura Iron Cavalry to quickly carry out the purge. Those who opposed them and the Dragon Empire would be purged. In order to gain more territory, they were not polite at all. So what if they are all royal family? One word, kill. Either die yourself, or become emperor yourself, the choice is very simple. In the blink of an eye, half a day passed, and more than 100,000 people died in the imperial city of the White Elephant Empire. The 3 princes controlled some troops respectively. You did a good job. You can all become emperors. Shen Jingtian smiled and took out a map of the White Elephant Empire. There are several red dots on the map. There is also a large area circled in the north. You cede this area in the north to our Shenlong Empire, and you lease these other places to our Shenlong Empire permanently, and we can station troops in these places. The taxes in these places belong to our Shenlong Empire, and the laws of our Shenlong Empire are implemented. Do you have any objections? Shen Jingtian said. The 3 princes nodded. It has come to this point, what else is unacceptable? Next, let's discuss the compensation. This time, we dispatched 300,000 troops, and our Shenlong Empire suffered heavy losses. You must compensate our Shenlong Empire. Shen Jingtian said in a deep voice. The 3 princes looked ugly. The ceding of land and the compensation were indeed not small. To say how much loss the Shenlong Empire suffered is nonsense. The casualties of the Shenlong Empire must not exceed 1,000 people. Why, you don't want to? Shen Jingtian frowned. Yes. The 3 people said hurriedly. Shen Jingtian said in a light voice, your compensation amount is 2 million kilograms of spirit stones. Hurry up and draft the surrender letter. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 548, the shock of all parties. Samrad was present, and he hurriedly asked, General Shen, why should our White Elephant Empire pay compensation of 2 million gene of spiritual stones? At the beginning, the Black Tiger Empire only had 1 million gene of spiritual stones. Shen Jingtian said in a calm voice, how much territory did the Black Tiger Empire cede to us, and how much territory did your White Elephant Empire cede? If you are willing to cede more territory and reduce the compensation to 1 million gene, I think your Majesty should agree. Sandram said hurriedly, then pay 2 million liang of spiritual stones. The Black Tiger Empire is vast and sparsely populated, so it doesn't matter if it cedes more territory. Their White Elephant Empire has a population of 200 million and a much smaller area. Hurry up and draft the letter of credence. Shen Jingtian said in a deep voice. One of the 3 princes said, General Shen, shouldn't we determine our territory first? This can be written in the letter of credence. Sandram glared at the prince who was speaking. This is in a hurry to ascend the throne. Shen Jingtian said calmly, you should first draft the surrender letter, determine the compensation, etc. Your split is your own business. You can have more time to discuss it yourself. Sandram cursed in his heart. It was said that they were asked to discuss, but in fact, they were asked to fight each other and deepen their contradictions. General Shen, I listen to you. Sandram said dejectedly. What if they knew Shen Jingtian's thoughts? They could not change anything. The dream of the White Elephant Empire to become a great power became a joke. Southwest of the White Elephant Empire, dozens of warships moved forward quickly, including a top warship. These warships came from the OS Empire, with tens of thousands of soldiers on them. They came to support the White Elephant Empire to resist the Dragon Empire. Are we almost at the White Elephant Empire? Soon, we should be there today, but it will take us 7 or 8 days to get to the capital of the White Elephant Empire. Will the White Elephant Empire not be able to hold on? How is it possible? The White Elephant Empire has 1 million troops after all, and the Dragon Empire may not be able to take advantage of the White Elephant Empire. Many people on the warships talked about it. In order to transport more soldiers, the ship was very crowded. They had been squeezed on the ship for 7 or 8 days. Now they just wanted to get off the ship immediately. Swish. A sound of breaking through the air was heard, and a Martial Emperor-level strongman approached quickly. Soon this Martial Emperor-level strongman landed on the top battleship in the front, and he entered the battleship command room with a serious expression. Rodney, is the war in the White Elephant Empire not going well? The battleship captain Lister asked. Rodney took a deep breath. It's not that it's not going well, it's that the White Elephant Empire has been defeated. The White Elephant Empire has surrendered. What? Rist's eyes widened. It's only been 10 days since the Dragon Empire crossed the border. The White Elephant Empire was defeated. How could they be defeated so quickly with 1 million troops? Rodney said gloomily, they are too bad, and the Dragon Empire is also very powerful. Their strength is completely on a different level. Rist frowned. Many people in the White Elephant Empire are not full of confidence. Those who asked us for help said it was just a small problem. Rodney said with a dark face, the words of the White Elephant Empire people can't be trusted. They can exaggerate 1 point of their strength into 10. The so-called million troops are actually estimated to be 700,000. Among them, there may be 100,000 old, weak, sick, and disabled. The funny thing is that half of the 600,000 soldiers don't have weapons. Rist opened his mouth, he was speechless. Don't be afraid of godlike opponents, just be afraid of pig-like teammates. Have they completely admitted defeat? Is there any hope? Rist asked. Rodney shook his head. They have already announced their surrender, ceding a large area in the north to the Dragon Empire. Compensation of 2 million gene of spiritual stones. Also permanently lease some areas where the Dragon Empire can station troops. Lister said, such harsh conditions, if we land, they may continue to resist when they see hope. Rodney said in a deep voice, impossible. The Dragon Empire intends to let their 3 princes divide the White Elephant Empire. The 3 princes led people to purge 100,000 people. They have no other choice but to support the Dragon Empire wholeheartedly. Lister frowned, then we can't land in the White Elephant Empire. Should we land in the Bayue Empire? Rodney said, you go east, I will go back and ask His Majesty's opinion to see whether to go to the Bayue Empire or the Blood Cherry Empire. Yeah. Lister nodded. He felt a headache. Tens of thousands of soldiers were crowded on dozens of warships. They had been looking forward to getting off the ship for a long time. It would take 4 or 5 days to go to the Bayue Empire. It would take 7 or 8 days to go to the Blood Cherry Empire. This news told them that many people probably had a lot of opinions. Everyone, please pay attention. The White Elephant Empire has surrendered. We will change course and head east to the Bayue Empire or the Blood Sakura Empire. Rodney left, and Lister took a deep breath and said, what the hell? The White Elephant Empire has been defeated. Did I hear it right? It's only been 10 days since the war started, and the White Elephant Empire, a country with a population of 200 million, has already been defeated. In dozens of warships, a large number of soldiers were talking. Good news, good news. Shenlong Empire, Shendu. Someone rode a fast horse into the West City, and he shouted as he moved forward. The people in front quickly made way to both sides. It seems that we won a victory in the White Elephant Empire. It should be a big victory. A small victory probably won't make such a big noise. Many people in the Shenlong Empire talked about it, and they were all full of confidence. Since the establishment of the Shura Corps, it has never suffered a defeat. Greetings, Your Majesty. The strongman who entered the city quickly entered the palace, and he knelt down to salute. Stand up. Xiao Hai smiled. Is the war over the White Elephant Empire over? Your Majesty is very smart. This is the White Elephant Empire's letter of surrender. We have won a great victory. The strongman in front of Xiao Hai stood up and handed the letter to Xiao Hai. Good, very good. Come here, copy a few copies of the White Elephant Empire's letter of surrender and post them. Xiao Hai laughed. Soon the copied White Elephant Empire's letter of surrender was posted. Oh my God, we won already. It took about 10 days. This is too fast. The White Elephant Empire ceded 1 million kilometers of territory, compensated 2 million kilograms of spirit stones, and had to rent some places to us, haha. Seeing the letter of surrender, the people of the Dragon Empire were overjoyed. The Five Nations Alliance was targeting the Dragon Empire, and many people were still worried. They didn't expect to solve the White Elephant Empire so quickly. The Shura cavalry is too strong. They also have all kinds of explosives, there is no way to stop them. Our country has only 5,000 heavy cavalry, but they can sweep across the 4 directions without any enemies. The Shenlong Empire has hundreds of thousands of Shura cavalry. There were many people from other countries in the divine capital, and they were all shocked when they heard the news. We must immediately report this news back to our country. Our country must not join the Five-Nation Alliance. No, now it is the Four-Nation Alliance. It is unwise to be an enemy of the Shenlong Empire. Many strong men secretly discussed, and many of them quickly left the divine capital. Midline Horizontal Ellipsis Chapter 549, Spiritual Cave Enhancement, Lightning Snow Sculpture. The Imperial City of the Vulture Empire. Your Majesty, General Duraf wants to see you. He has urgent military information. Someone came to Emperor Morgan and said, hurry up and announce it. Soon General Duraf came to General Morgan. Your Majesty, the White Elephant Empire was defeated. They did not resist, and the Shura Iron Cavalry easily entered their imperial city. It is estimated that it will not be long before they will issue a letter of surrender. General Duraf said in a deep voice. What? Emperor Morgan's face changed. He got the news a few days ago that the White Elephant Empire was not going well in the early stage, but he did not expect the White Elephant Empire to be defeated so quickly. If the White Elephant Empire had been a little stronger, it should not have been defeated so quickly, and the support of the OS Empire would have arrived. Why did they lose so quickly? Emperor Morgan said in a deep voice, the White Elephant Empire has cities and rivers, why can't they resist for even a month? Your Majesty, they were afraid of being massacred, and they almost did not resist later. Duraf said. Waste. They brag loudly at ordinary times, but they are useless at the critical moment. Morgan the Great looked very ugly. Their Five-Nation Alliance suddenly became a Four-Nation Alliance, and the White Elephant Empire lost a lot of manpower. Without the White Elephant Empire, they could not contain the Dragon Empire on land. Rely on the Baiyue Empire. The Baiyue Empire is to the south of the Dragon Empire. Although it also borders the Dragon Empire, they simply do not have the ability to take the initiative to attack. Your Majesty, the defeat of the White Elephant Empire will have a great impact on the situation. It will be more difficult for us to win over some countries. The left Prime Minister of the Vulture Empire said next to Morgan the Great. Yeah. Morgan the Great looked gloomy. Originally, in his plan, even if the White Elephant Empire would eventually lose, the White Elephant Empire should be able to hold on for 3 or 4 months. In this way, the 300,000 people of the Shura Legion can be dragged there. The Baiyue Empire can also take the opportunity to attack. They also launched an attack on the Blood Cherry Empire to put the greatest pressure on the Dragon Empire. If the other countries see that the Dragon Empire is losing, some countries may stand up and beat the dog when it is down, and their alliance will expand. Your Majesty, our advantage is the navy. We still have to start with the navy. As long as we destroy the navy of the Dragon Empire, we will be invincible. The right Prime Minister of the Vulture Empire said. Emperor Morgan nodded. There will be many warships sent over from China, but the warships will not be sent over so quickly, and it will take time to upgrade and transform them. They still have a chance. Your Majesty, we should transfer some more fleets from other parts of the world, and the warships of the OS Empire should also go over. At present, winning the war with the Dragon Empire is the most important thing. The left Prime Minister said in a deep voice. Emperor Morgan frowned secretly. The interests of other parts of the world are also very important. If their fleets are transferred, the situation in many places will inevitably change. If there are huge losses in the future, those places will be completely out of control. The right Prime Minister said, in fact, the most important thing is to find a way to transfer in large quantities. Unfortunately, we have not made any progress in this regard. Emperor Morgan sighed. It would be great if there was a way to transfer in large quantities. The one cooperating with them is the United States, which is the strongest country on the earth. At least on the surface. If a real fight breaks out, Xiao Fan and his men are strong, and the captain of the U.S. aircraft carrier is of little use, and they may not be able to defeat China. China, East China Sea Spirit Cave. Boom. Jiang Wanchen broke through here, and he reached the Grandmaster level. As Jiang Wanchen broke through, the speed of the spiritual energy flowing into the Spirit Cave increased a lot, and the East Sea Spirit Cave was strengthened by about 30%. Before Jiang Wanchen, there were two people who broke through here in the East Sea Spirit Cave, and they also made the East Sea Spirit Cave stronger. It is worth mentioning that it is useless for practitioners with low strength to break through here. Xiao Fan has tested this aspect. He arranged for some people who were about to break through in Leishan County, but when they broke through, the spiritual energy of the Spirit Cave did not increase at all. The stronger the Spirit Cave, the more powerful people are needed to break through in the Spirit Cave if they want to increase the spiritual energy. S-level Spirit Caves need to be at least innate level. SS-level Spirit Caves need to be at least Grandmaster level. Many people in China have reached the Dark Power level, and very few have reached the Transformation Power level, but very few have reached the Acquired level. Ding ding. After consolidating his cultivation, Jiang Wanchen called Xiao Fan. Grandmaster Xiao, I broke through to the Grandmaster level. The East Sea Spirit Cave has been strengthened a lot. Jiang Wanchen said happily. Xiao Fan's eyes lit up. With the strengthening of the East Sea Spirit Cave, it would be possible to send larger warships over, and maybe cargo ships of 4,000 to 5,000 tons could be sent over. Director Jiang, congratulations, you are now a Grandmaster too. Xiao Fan said with a smile. Jiang Wanchen said gratefully, Grandmaster Xiao, I have to thank you for sending me to another world, otherwise I would never become a Grandmaster in my lifetime. Director Jiang, that's impossible. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth is strengthening. With your talent, it's only a matter of time before you become a Grandmaster. Not necessarily. Maybe I'll be killed before I become a Grandmaster. Xiao Fan blinked. This is possible. Dong dong. Late at night, in Leishan County, the mirror next to Xiao Fan was knocked. Last time, Xiao Hai said to contact here. Even if Jiang Wanchen broke through in the East Sea Spirit Cave, he would have to be here. Grandpa, is there something good? You are smiling. Xiao Fan asked. Xiao Hai grinned and said, there is great news. The White Elephant Empire has been defeated, and the White Elephant Empire has sent us a letter of surrender. The White Elephant Empire has ceded about 1 million square kilometers of territory, and will have to compensate us with 2 million kilograms of spiritual stones within 20 years. As you said, permanent concessions and garrisons have been arranged for them. Xiao Fan said in a deep voice, this is indeed good news, but the White Elephant Empire has been defeated, and the counterattack of the Vulture Empire and others will be even more powerful. Xiao Hai's smile faded, and he nodded. I haven't received any news yet, but the Vulture Empire will definitely have a new fleet coming, and the OS Empire is likely to have one too. My dear grandson, how is the situation over there? Xiao Fan described the situation on his side in detail. Xiao Hai said, my dear grandson, Grandpa sent a spirit beast that is on the verge of a breakthrough this time, and see if you can make the spirit cave grow. The spirit beast is a perfect great martial sect. Xiao Fan nodded, and soon a ferocious snow sculpture came over. The feathers of this snow sculpture were white, and its beak and claws were golden. My dear grandson, this is a lightning snow sculpture. It is extremely fast. If you want to go far away, sitting on its back is faster than flying by yourself. If there is a situation somewhere in China, you can rush there faster. Xiao Hai said. Xiao Fan touched the snow sculpture's head, and the snow sculpture rubbed him affectionately. Grandpa will pass you some more dragon energy. Xiao Hai soon passed some dragon energy to Xiao Fan. My dear grandson, where is Yue? Let her teleport here. She has been consolidating for so long, she can come to this other world to improve. Xiao Hai said with a smile. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 550, the emperor-level monster appears on Earth. Su Yue was quickly teleported to another world, and Xiao Fan felt a little sad. He was alone in an empty room, and couldn't sleep alone. If he wanted, those big stars would rush to climb into his bed, but Xiao Fan had no interest in playing both sides. My dear grandson, Yue's cultivation level is at the Great Martial Sect level, and it's not improving as fast as before. Let her come back when she is about to reach the Martial King level. When she breaks through in the Leishan County Spirit Cave, Xiao Hai said. Xiao Fan said sullenly, Grandpa, how long will it take? Xiao Hai said, Yue is very talented. It should be about 3 months. By then, the Leishan County Spirit Cave may be able to reach the SSS level. You should also be prepared to teleport here. Before that, you have to teleport a lot of warships and cargo ships here, as well as various machines. Xiao Fan said, Grandpa, let Wei Wei return when she is about to break through the small realm, so that the spirit cave can be improved to the maximum. Xiao Hai shook his head. Do you think it's good to always teleport? You have the ability of space, so it shouldn't have any effect on you. It will have a certain impact on Yue. But Yue has the ability of immortality, so as long as it's not too frequent, it won't be a big problem. Xiao Fan sighed in his heart. 3 months is a bit difficult. My dear grandson, you and Yue must improve as soon as possible. Even if Grandpa hasn't practiced at all recently, his cultivation is still rising. At most, he will reach the level of Martial Saint in 8 or 9 months. Before that, you must ascend to the throne and be as strong as possible. If Grandpa really ascends, you must be able to control the situation. Xiao Hai said solemnly. Xiao Fan nodded. If he lost the kingdom he had conquered with great difficulty, or even killed him and Su Yue, it would be a lot of fun. Another half an hour passed, and Xiao Hai disappeared from the mirror. Many things in the warehouse were teleported. There were many machines that were teleported. Even if warships could not be teleported from here in the future, the Dragon Empire could build ships by itself. I hope the freighter can be teleported. Xiao Fan thought to himself. He and Xiao Hai agreed to contact each other at the East China Sea Spirit Cave next time. Ding ding. The next morning, Xiao Fan was awakened by the ringing of the phone before he got up. Director Jiang, is there an accident? Xiao Fan asked. He looked at the time and it was not even 6 o'clock. Jiang Wanchen called at this time. I'm afraid it's not a good thing. Jiang Wanchen said in a deep voice, half an hour ago, an ocean-going freighter sailing in the Pacific Ocean was attacked by a monster. I'll send you the video, take a look. Xiao Fan hung up the phone, and Jiang Wanchen sent the video soon. The video was taken by someone on the ship. It was released before the freighter had an accident. A giant monster appeared in the video. This monster looks like a shark, but it looks much scarier than a shark. The largest shark in the ocean is the whale shark, which is only about 10 meters long at most. The shark in the video may be 50 meters long. Ding ding. Jiang Wanchen called again soon. Master Xiao, have you finished watching the video? According to the judgment of relevant personnel, the deep-sea devil shark in the video is about 50 meters long, with a plus or minus difference of no more than 1 meter. Does it have the strength of a martial emperor? Jiang Wanchen said in a deep voice. The information of the deep-sea devil shark emerged in Xiao Fan's mind, and he soon said, Director Jiang, it should be in the early stage of the martial emperor. The fact that it can appear on Earth means that there is an SSS-level spirit cave in the deep sea. The good news is that the deep-sea devil shark has a strong sense of territory, and there should be no other powerful monsters in the area where it is. So this should be the only one that appeared on Earth. Jiang Wanchen said, Master Xiao, can the urine of a martial emperor-level monster scare away a martial king-level monster? Director Jiang, I'm afraid that won't work. The urine of a martial emperor-level monster can only affect a martial king-level monster at most. Xiao Fan said. On the other end of the phone, Jiang Wanchen smiled bitterly and said, then we can only pray that this monster will not come to our China. You can't deal with a martial emperor-level monster now, right? Xiao Fan said, Director Jiang, my current strength is only that of a martial king. I really can't beat a martial emperor-level monster at the moment. Director Jiang, you don't have to worry too much. This place is quite far from our China. It's much closer to Hawaii. Even if it comes to the west, it will probably approach Dongyang country first. Jiang Wanchen said helplessly, there are no space channels near the SSS-level spirit caves. How come a monster of this level came here? Xiao Fan said, Director Jiang, if we build a space channel, it will transmit stably, but the disadvantage is that the transmission limit is much lower. Without a stable space channel, we can only come through space cracks. Space cracks are sometimes large and sometimes small, and the danger is much higher. With luck, even larger monsters can come here. Not a small amount of luck. Even smaller monsters will get into trouble during the transmission process. Jiang Wanchen sighed lightly, I know this truth. I just feel a little sad that there will be more and more monsters on Earth in the future. Okay, go back to sleep. Jiang Wanchen hung up the phone. Xiao Fan got up. How could he sleep at this moment? The SSS-level spirit cave appeared. If I find this SSS-level spirit cave, I may be able to appear in the other world in advance. Xiao Fan thought to himself. He only has the cultivation of the early stage of the great martial sect. If he finds that spirit cave and opens it, he can be teleported to the other world without going through Shaohai. If his cultivation is not up to the pre-martial king, he should be able to teleport back. Find this spirit cave and improve in the other world. Xiao Fan thought to himself. He has a strong talent, but on this side of the earth, the improvement is very slow due to the environment. In 3 months, Suyuwei can reach the perfection of the great martial sect in the other world, but whether he can reach the middle stage of the great martial sect is a question. The higher the cultivation, the more difficult it is to improve a realm. No matter whether we go or not, let's find this spirit cave first. Xiao Fan muttered in his heart. Lightning, let's go. Xiao Fan sat on the back of the lightning snow sculpture. The lightning snow sculpture quickly took off, and its forward speed would not be slower than that of a fighter. If Xiao Fan is brought along, the resistance will increase a lot, and the speed of the lightning snow sculpture will be slower, but it can also fly at supersonic speed. 5 or 6 hours later, the lightning snow sculpture approached the sea area where the incident occurred. There were some containers floating on the sea, and no rescue ship was found nearby. Knowing the situation here, the nearby ships are all detouring. How dare they run to this area for rescue? Encountering such a monster attack, there is nothing to rescue. Lightning, be careful, don't let us send our heads thousands of miles away. Xiao Fan reminded the lightning snow sculpture. Cry. The lightning snow sculpture landed, and it flew close to the sea surface. Xiao Fan carefully sensed the changes in the spiritual energy in the surrounding space. The spiritual energy of the SSS-level spiritual cave should be able to affect the sea surface even in the deep sea. It should be found if you look carefully. Midline Horizontal Ellipsis Chapter 551 Discovery of SSS-level spiritual cave in the waters of Hawaii. Many people were busy filming a movie. This movie was about sharks. The content was that a huge shark monster from another world came through. It first appeared in the deep sea, and then went to the near sea to kill. There really is a monster from another world now. Recently, the monster series of movies is very popular. As long as the special effects are not bad, the box office is not low. Stop. Your expressions are not in place. In the next shot, you have to show great fear. In the post-production special effects, a large shark several dozen meters long will appear. You should build up your emotions. We will reshoot in 2 minutes. The director said unsatisfied. He had filmed this shot several times, and the actors' expressions were not up to standard. 2 minutes passed quickly. Everyone, get ready. The camera was aimed at several actors, who were drinking wine in the wind at the bow. Oh, my God. God, what is that? Suddenly, several actors showed extremely frightened expressions on their faces. The director's eyes lit up. This time the performance was very, very good. He was very surprised. Director, there. One of the actors said in fear. Damn it, is this your line? You wasted a good shot. The director said angrily, and he looked in the direction the actor pointed. Fuck. The next second the director himself was also horrified. A few hundred meters away from them, a terrifying shark several dozen meters long appeared on the sea, and the shark was rushing towards them. Pull up, pull up. There was a helicopter nearby to cooperate with the filming, and the assistant director shouted in fear, and the helicopter pilot desperately pulled up the helicopter. Crack. The dozens of meters long deep-sea devil shark opened its bloody mouth, and it bit down, and the 20-30-meter long luxury yacht was bitten in two. Help, help. Ah. Some people who were still alive on the luxury yacht screamed in horror. But soon they couldn't scream anymore, and the strong water flow rushed them to the bottom of the sea, and they all drowned in a short time. Swoosh. The deep-sea devil shark saw the helicopter in the sky. A huge ice arrow shot at the helicopter. The helicopter dodged with all its strength and barely avoided it. Run, run. The assistant director on the helicopter screamed in horror. The helicopter desperately flew towards the land, and the deep-sea devil shark in the sea followed it. It did not attack the helicopter again. Why didn't it attack? Something is wrong. It was not that it could not hit us just now. It did it on purpose. It wanted us to take it to the land. Someone on the helicopter said. The assistant director said with a dark face, "What can we do? The helicopter can't fly for too long. Its speed is faster than ours. We must go to the land. Land in a place with a sea of people." The helicopter pilot said, "If it finds land, it will be useless even if we land in a place without people. Do you want to die? If we don't escape to the land, we will die. Think about your family. Now is not the time to be a hero." The assistant director said sternly. The helicopter pilot sighed secretly in his heart. He didn't want to die. They were 60 or 70 nautical miles away from the land. In less than half an hour, they were close to the land. The deep-sea devil shark behind them sped up. Swish. 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 Countless ice arrows more than 1 meter long shot at the helicopter. The speed of these ice arrows was faster than bullets. Boom. Faced with such an attack, the helicopter was completely unable to dodge, and in the blink of an eye it exploded into a fireball in the sky. God, what is that? Run, run. Soon, the deep-sea devil shark approached a beach. Roar, a low roar came from the sea. Many people in the sea felt a strong suction, which pulled them towards the deep-sea devil shark's bloody mouth. Help, help. Woo, cries for help and sobbing rang out. In China, Jiang Wanqin quickly got the news. He called Xiao Fan, but the call didn't go through. Soon Jiang Wanqin changed to a satellite phone, and this time he finally got through. Master Xiao, the deep-sea devil shark appeared on the Hawaiian coast. It is killing people, and it has killed a lot in a short period of time. Jiang Wanqin said. Xiao Fan said, Director Jiang, this is not bad news for us. The deep-sea devil shark has a strong sense of territory. It is very likely to regard that place as its territory. It will not leave for our China in a short time. Jiang Wanqin said, there are many people in our country over there. In this situation, they may not be able to withdraw. Xiao Fan frowned and said, Director Jiang, I will not go to save them. China is now the place with the least monster attacks, and we are in a very bad situation with the United States. They still go there for tourism. In this case, they have to bear the risk themselves. Jiang Wanqin sighed lightly, some people are not going there for tourism. Master Xiao, I don't mean to let you go there. You are strong and it is easy to become a target of deep-sea devil sharks if you go there. We will find a way to evacuate the overseas Chinese ourselves. Jiang Wanqin said. For those people, Xiao Fan would not agree to let him take risks. Director Jiang, the plane may become an attack target if it approaches. You should pay attention. Xiao Fan said. Understood, we will pay attention. After hanging up the phone, Xiaofan shook his head secretly. The country has its own choices, and he has his own choices. The deep-sea devil shark has left, which is good news for me. Xiaofan muttered in his heart. He had sensed the spiritual energy. But after discovering the spiritual energy, Xiaofan did not enter the sea immediately. He was far from being a match for the deep-sea demon shark of the martial emperor level in the sea. Now that the deep-sea demon shark had left, he would be safe if he entered the sea. Lightning, wait in the air here. Fly higher and be alert. Xiaofan ordered. Cry. The lightning snow sculpture quickly flew high into the sky. Xiaofan teleported to a depth of more than 1,000 meters. At this depth, it was pitch black all around, but Xiaofan had a sense of consciousness and it was not a problem. It's still deeper. Xiaofan frowned secretly. He was still thinking about teleporting a larger submarine here, but it seemed that it was not possible. Soon Xiaofan continued to teleport. Half a minute later, Xiaofan discovered the SSS-level spiritual cave here. It was at a depth of 5,000 or 6,000 meters, and it was not on the seabed. At this depth, submarines are completely helpless. Xiaofan shook his head secretly. It was impossible for warships and submarines to teleport to another world here. The space crack here seems to be relatively stable. If I don't arrange the space channel, maybe I can pass through it. Xiaofan thought to himself. He has the ability of space, so it is much safer to cross the space cracks. He can find the tiny space cracks in the space cracks. Xiaofan stared at the spirit cave here. Should I take the risk? If I take the risk and teleport over there, he will improve much faster. A few days of training there is estimated to be equivalent to half a year of training on Earth. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 552, blocked yesterday and asking for help today. Let's wait until the warships and other things are teleported to the other world. Xiaofan thought to himself. The space crack of this SSS-level spirit cave is relatively stable. He is a space ability user, and he thinks that his chances of successfully reaching the other world are quite high. But it's better to be safe than sorry. If something happens here, the Dragon Empire may also be in trouble. The joint action of the Vulture Empire and others is terrible. The Navy must continue to strengthen in order to deter a group of bandit countries. Set up a formation here to hide the spirit cave. A dozen formation beads appeared in Xiaofan's hand. It took 2 hours for Xiaofan to finally set up the formation. This formation does not have a strong defensive power and can only lock the spiritual energy. As long as the spiritual energy does not leak out, even if the strong men from the United States and other countries come here, it will be very difficult to find this spirit cave in the ocean. Even that deep-sea devil shark will find it difficult to find this spirit cave. The ocean is vast, and the deep-sea devil shark probably can't figure out the direction. The combination of spatial ability and formation is pretty good. At least the formation is bound to space and won't be washed away by the waves. Xiaofan muttered in his heart. Lightning, let's go back. It didn't take long for Xiaofan to leave the ocean. He wrote down the coordinates here, so it would be more convenient to come next time. Cry. The lightning snow sculpture screamed. It flew around like a headless fly. Lightning, this direction. Xiaofan pointed. Hawaii, the disaster continues. The deep-sea devil shark, which is dozens of meters long, has to eat a lot in one meal, and it now kills to determine its status. It has just crossed into an unfamiliar environment, and killing can let it understand what level it is in the unfamiliar environment. If there are top predators nearby, it will leave soon. Devil, it's a devil. Where are the evolvers of our country? Why haven't they appeared yet? Help! Many people on the island were terrified. The deep-sea devil shark suddenly flew in the air. It is a deep-sea monster, but it has the cultivation of the martial emperor level, and it has no problem flying to the land to act, but it normally won't do this. Boom. Boom. Several fighter jets rushed over and fired missiles. The missiles hit accurately, but how could ordinary missiles break the defense of the martial emperor level monster? Hypersonic missiles are more or less. Roar. The deep-sea devil shark was more than 10 kilometers away from the missiles, and it suddenly accelerated and rushed towards the fighter jets that launched the missiles. Boom. Several fighter jets quickly fired the remaining missiles, and then they dispersed and turned on the afterburner to escape at supersonic speed. The deep-sea devil shark flies very fast, but it is a deep-sea monster after all, and its fastest speed is only a little more than twice the speed of sound. Roar! Unable to catch up with the fighter jets, the deep-sea devil shark angrily rushed towards a building, and its huge body slammed into the building fiercely. Boom! The building collapsed with a loud bang. The impact of the Martial Emperor-level monster was too strong. God, this monster is too strong. This is more powerful than the monsters that appeared in Europe and Australia. This monster is likely to be at the Martial Emperor level. Many people were terrified. Many people took videos and posted them online. The news spread quickly on the internet and became the focus of public opinion in a short time. The United States, Black Palace. The Commander-in-Chief and others gathered together. How many SSS-level evolvers do we have? If all of our SSS-level evolvers are deployed, can we deal with this monster? The U.S. leader said in a deep voice. Hawaii is still very important to the U.S. General, we now have more than 20 SSS-level evolvers in the U.S., but half of them belong to major financial groups. The leader of the Evolutionary Alliance, Eisenhower, said via video link. The U.S. president said in a deep voice, the country is in crisis, they must contribute, just tell me if we can solve it. Eisenhower said, Commander-in-Chief, according to the information, this is a deep-sea devil shark, and it should be in the early stage of Martial Emperor. Most of our evolvers are in the early stage of Great Martial Sect. 100 people in the early stage of Great Martial Sect may not be able to deal with this monster. We may have to use tactical nuclear bombs if we want to kill it. The U.S. president said with a dark face, use tactical nuclear bombs on our own land. This is a bad idea. What if we let Xiaofen take action? Eisenhower said, according to our judgment, Xiaofen plus Suyawei, plus the spirit beast he controls should be able to do it. The U.S. president looked around and said, you heard it, hurry up and contact China and let Xiaofen help. Cough. The chief of staff coughed lightly. Grand Commander, we imposed a chip ban on them some time ago, and you signed a bill yesterday to ban Yanhuang chips. If we ask Xiaofen for help at this time, I'm afraid he won't do it. The U.S. Grand Commander frowned and said, tell China that if Xiaofen takes action, we can lift the chip ban on them. The ban can be lifted to a limited extent. The U.S. Foreign Affairs Department quickly contacted China. Ding! Xiaofen's satellite phone rang. Lightning, slow down. Xiaofen ordered. Lightning quickly slowed down, and Xiaofen answered the call. Jiang Wanchen said, Master Xiao, the U.S. side contacted and said that if you help solve that demon, they can lift the chip ban on China. In addition, the ban on Yanhuang chips can be lifted to a limited extent. Xiaofen frowned. Director Jiang, let me think it over carefully. Lift the chip ban and let their chips compete with Yanhuang chips for the Chinese market. There is also a limited lifting of the ban. Does this mean that they will continue to hit me, just hit me less, and then let me help them? I don't want to solve the economic problem by force. Am I giving them face? Xiaofen said coldly. Jiang Wanchen said, Master Xiao, we contacted you not because of how good their conditions are, but because we are also very angry. We want to ask you if it is necessary to talk to them. Maybe they can completely lift the ban. Xiaofen sneered, if they ban Yanhuang chips, will they be able to ban them? Director Jiang, please inform all countries that participated in the ban on Yanhuang chips not to bother me about this matter in the future. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Xiaofen was very angry. The Americans are really shameless. They banned him yesterday and wanted to ask him for help today, and the conditions were still like this. Soon the United States received a reply. General, the Chinese side replied with 2 words. One of the staff members said hesitantly. Agree. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief's eyes lit up. No, they replied, no way. Damn it. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief's face darkened. Does Xiaofen still want to sell his Yanhuang chips to the global market? How much money can he make from China alone? Notice to China that if the demons are not resolved, they will not be allowed to evacuate their citizens. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 553, another aircraft carrier destroyed. Ding ding. Xiaofen received another call from Jiang Wanchen. Director Jiang, what's going on? Xiao Fan asked. Jiang Wanchen said angrily, the United States said that if we don't help solve the demons, they won't allow us to evacuate our citizens. They said that if we evacuate our citizens, it might anger the demons and make them kill more. Xiao Fan narrowed his eyes, very good, I'll wait for them to make a mistake, so that I can stand on the moral high ground to deal with them. Jiang Wanchen said in surprise, Master Xiao, what do you want to do? Director Jiang, I want to vote. Hang up. After hanging up the phone, Xiao Fan logged into Douyin. The United States banned the Yanhuang chip yesterday, and today they want me to help. If I don't help, they will ban China from evacuating its citizens from Hawaii. Everyone vote, which U.S. aircraft carrier do you want to destroy? The one with the most likes wins. Xiao Fan sent a message, and then sent several messages in the comment area. The content of each message was the name of a U.S. aircraft carrier. Soon Xiao Fan's message was seen by countless netizens who were paying attention. Oh my God, I'm involved in a big event. It has to be the USS Ford, everyone like this. I'll have something to brag about in the future. I also contributed to destroying an American aircraft carrier back then, ha 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 ha. The United States is a little too proud. The economic sanctions against Grandmaster Xiao didn't cause them any trouble. Do they think Grandmaster Xiao can't lift a knife? Countless netizens left messages. Boss, something happened. The Douyin boss quickly got the news. Boss, should we withdraw? Netizens have voted. When Grandmaster Xiao takes action, will we be in trouble? The chief operating director said with some concern. You are afraid of offending the United States, but are you not afraid of offending Grandmaster Xiao? Which country are we from? You have to figure this out. The Douyin boss said in a deep voice. As he spoke, he took out his mobile phone and silently contributed 2 likes. One of the likes was a like on the video, and the other was a like on the comment. Boss, I understand. The operations director said. The Douyin boss snorted, you don't understand yet. Yesterday I broke through to the Huajin level, and I also owed Grandmaster Xiao a big favor. The operations director quickly began to push the stream. Although there are already many netizens who follow Xiao Fan, there are still some who don't follow him. Pushing the stream will let more people know. The United States, Black Palace. General, Xiao Fan has sent a Douyin message. One of the staff members said in shock. The U.S. general sneered, is he looking for an excuse not to take action recently? The staff member swallowed and said, General, no. Xiao Fan asked netizens to decide which of our aircraft carriers to destroy. What? The U.S. general's face changed drastically. The same was true for many other people around him. Soon they all saw what Xiao Fan sent, and someone translated it considerately. Damn it, Xiao Fan is an act of war. He is a serious provocation to our country, how dare he do this? The U.S. general said angrily. Everyone was silent. Xiao Fan had destroyed their aircraft carriers before, but he destroyed them directly before, and now he has released the news publicly. Compared with the past, this time is even more embarrassing. And this vote is likely to destroy their best aircraft carrier. Tell China that if Xiao Fan continues to do this, it will be an act of war and he will have to pay the price for his actions. The U.S. general said sternly. Yes. They sent the message quickly. 10 minutes later, they received a reply from China. What did they say? The U.S. general said anxiously. China said that this was Xiao Fan's personal behavior and asked us to exercise restraint. They also said that Xiao Fan is soft-hearted and not hard-hearted. If we use force, all aircraft carriers will most likely be destroyed by Xiao Fan. They also suggested that we evacuate the personnel on the aircraft carriers in advance according to the vote, so that we can reduce the losses at that time. The U.S. president was so angry that his body trembled. Tell them that if Xiao Fan does this, it may cause a global nuclear war. The U.S. president said sternly. This time, they didn't get a reply until half an hour later. General, China said that nearly half of their citizens have the cultivation level of Ming gene, and they can survive a global nuclear winter. If there is a global nuclear winter, 99% of our people will die, and they will survive hundreds of millions of people. In the future, the Earth will belong to them. The U.S. President. At this point, there is no way to talk about this day. Have so many of them reached the Ming gene level? Asked the U.S. Commander-in-Chief. Can the Ming gene level survive the nuclear winter? Eisenhower, who was connected via video, said, Commander-in-Chief, the global temperature may drop by about 20 degrees in a nuclear winter, which is very difficult for ordinary people to endure. Add to that the nuclear radiation, and many of us will indeed die. A 20-degree temperature drop at the Ming gene level is not a big problem, and the radioactive dust will have little impact on them, so they will probably be fine. They can eat things that contain a certain amount of radiation, but we may not be able to. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief said dejectedly, then will our mushroom bombs have a much lower deterrent effect on them in the future? Commander-in-Chief, there is still some deterrence, but it will definitely be reduced. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief looked around. Do you have any other good ideas? Can we surrender to Xiao Fan? The Chief of Staff smiled bitterly and said, even if we surrender, I'm afraid Xiao Fan will take action. He will sink our aircraft carrier when he gets the chance. It seems that his bottom line is this: economic problems should be solved by economic means, and if we cross the line, he will use force. Everyone was silent. After a long while, the U.S. President said, what's the result of the vote? President, this is our only Ford-class aircraft carrier. The U.S. President gritted his teeth and said, immediately dismantle all the valuables on it, as much as you can. All the carrier-based aircraft on it should be evacuated. In the blink of an eye, it was the next day. Xiao Fan approached a lonely aircraft carrier, and all the carrier-based aircraft on it were gone. There was not a single destroyer around. Xiao Fan used the satellite to start the live broadcast. Countless people poured into the live broadcast room. Oh my God, Master Xiao really got on the Ford-class aircraft carrier. Why is there not a single plane and no one? The Americans probably withdrew long ago, but it's good to destroy this aircraft carrier. Countless netizens in the live broadcast room posted barrages. Xiao Fan said to the camera with some regret, my friends, I originally wanted to pick up an ownerless aircraft carrier to take home, but I didn't expect that the power was broken, so I could only destroy it and sink it into the sea. You haven't seen me take action for a while, I'll show you how to do it. The netizens in the live broadcast room were immediately excited. Xiao Fan held the phone in one hand and slashed slowly with the other hand. The space slash fell towards the deck of the aircraft carrier. The deck of the aircraft carrier is extremely hard, but the space slash is to cut through the space, so whether the deck is hard or not does not have much impact. More than 10 seconds later, this 100,000-ton aircraft carrier was broken into two parts, and countless seawater quickly poured into the cabins. Countless netizens in the live broadcast room were extremely shocked. They knew how powerful the aircraft carrier was, but it was actually cut into two parts by Xiao Fan. It's not sinking yet, it seems that we need something good. Xiao Fan smiled lightly. As he spoke, many bombs entered the two parts of the aircraft carrier. Boom. With a loud noise, hundreds of tons of explosives exploded from the inside of the aircraft carrier. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 554 8 super fleets gather hundreds of tons of explosives blew the aircraft carrier into pieces. The aircraft carrier that was cut into two by Xiao Fan quickly took on water and began to sink. It feels good to sink another one. To be honest, isn't this better than watching mermaids in the sewer? Although aircraft carriers are not so important now, it's still cool. In the past, these aircraft carriers often showed off their power here. Seeing the aircraft carrier sinking continuously in the live broadcast, many Chinese netizens were extremely excited, while netizens from other countries were silent. For example, netizens from Dongyang and South Korea. Many of their trolls are very powerful, and even have professional water armies. But now, whether they are trolls or professional water armies, they all remain silent, as if they don't know anything about this matter. When it comes to Xiao Fan is really rude. The United States is just a little arrogant. It sanctioned Xiao Fan and wanted to force Xiao Fan to rescue him, but the 100,000-ton aircraft carrier sank in the Pacific Ocean. Bang. Everyone in the hacker group also watched the live broadcast. Seeing their own aircraft carrier sink, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief angrily picked up the things around him and smashed them on the ground. Arrogant, extremely arrogant. This is a serious provocation to our U.S. hegemony. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief said angrily. The Chief of Staff smiled bitterly and said, Commander-in-Chief, this matter is indeed infuriating, but we still have to suppress our anger. Xiao Fan cut off the aircraft carrier, which is a serious warning to us. Recalling Xiao Fan's move just now, everyone was terrified. The aircraft carrier was so big, but Xiao Fan actually cut it in two in just a dozen seconds. In front of Xiao Fan, their aircraft carrier was like paper. If our SSS-level evolvers take action, can they do this? The U.S. Commander-in-Chief said in a deep voice. Eisenhower, who was connected by video, said, "Commander-in-Chief, even if we have more than 20 SSS-level evolvers take action together, it is impossible to blow such a large aircraft carrier into two so quickly. The aircraft carrier is very thick and it is not easy to be destroyed by ordinary attacks. Xiao Fan's spatial power is quite special. In addition, in those 10 seconds, Xiao Fan actually took action many times in a row, and he consumed a lot of mental power. More than 20 people can't do it." The U.S. Commander-in-Chief said in a deep voice. Eisenhower shook his head. "Commander-in-Chief, I asked some people, and they said no, and some of them are not good at attacking." "Okay, you can disconnect now." The U.S. Commander-in-Chief waved his hand. His anger has subsided a lot, and the difference in strength has calmed him down. They don't even dare to condemn Xiao Fan now. If they issue a condemnation notice today, maybe they will have another aircraft carrier sunk tomorrow. They only have 11 in total. And some aircraft carriers are on the verge of retirement, and some are still under repair. Commander-in-Chief, perhaps, we have to re-examine our Asia-Pacific strategy. I'm afraid we can no longer contain China. A member of the staff said. Huh. Everyone looked at him. This person said, although the era of aircraft carriers has not completely passed, it is already obvious that the importance of aircraft carriers has decreased. Unless we have the ability to set up formations in another world. But we can't find a way to teleport in large quantities, which is difficult to do. Another person said, we will find it sooner or later, and the Vulture Empire is also rushing to find a way to teleport in large quantities. The Chief of Staff said, we really need to re-examine our Asia-Pacific strategy. It is not convenient for our aircraft carriers to enter the first island chain. We even have to consider withdrawing from the second island chain. Our aircraft carriers and our bases are too dangerous over there. The U.S. commander walked back and forth. In this way, from a military perspective, Dongyang and Bang will become abandoned, and the U.S.'s interests in the Asia-Pacific will be greatly damaged. But in this situation, it is really powerless. Xiao Fan destroyed 2 aircraft carriers, which are not enough now, and the deterrence effect of the deployment in the Asia-Pacific region has been greatly reduced. The base will not be withdrawn, but our aircraft carrier should not approach there again. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief took a deep breath and said. This was a difficult decision for him. This was a shift from strategic offense to strategic defense, at least in the Asia-Pacific region. Yes, Commander-in-Chief. There were also bigwigs in the military present, and they secretly breathed a sigh of relief. They didn't want to conflict with Xiao Fan there. As long as there was a conflict, they would definitely suffer. This was too uncomfortable. Xiao Fan turned off the live broadcast and returned. All parts of China were jubilant. When he came back, it was dark, and from time to time, gorgeous fireworks could be seen exploding in the air. The owners of fireworks stores across the country have to thank me. Xiao Fan smiled. Because of him, many fireworks were set off during festivals. A few days passed in a blink of an eye. In another world, the 7th Super Fleet of the Vulture Empire arrived at the Blood Cherry Empire. The Super Fleet of the OS Empire also arrived at the Blood Cherry Empire. In this way, the Blood Cherry Empire has gathered 8 super fleets. These 8 super fleets have 8 top-notch warships, nearly 100 first-class warships, and nearly 1,000 second- and third-rate warships. The 4-nation alliance has a force of 400,000 or 500,000 here. And during this period, they have also recruited hundreds of thousands of vassal troops. General, should we attack Changjiang Island? A general in front of Alexander asked. Under Alexander's command, they lost more than 200,000 people, but the Shenlong Empire also lost more than 20,000 people. In the rest of the war, the Shenlong Empire suffered very low casualties. In comparison, his record was not bad, and he became the governor of the coalition. What do you think? Alexander asked with a glance. He suffered a big loss before, and he is now much more vigilant. The Shenlong Empire's navy is weaker than them, but the army is really strong. It is difficult for Shura iron cavalry to deal with it with various bombs. Governor, we now have 400,000 or 500,000 troops, and 300,000 or 400,000 vassal troops. Is it okay to attack Changjing Island? A general of the OS Empire said. They have not been beaten yet, and they are still very confident. The OS Empire is an old and powerful country. Although it is much weaker now, its arrogance is still there. They are confident in their own strength. Alexander said, the total force is 800,000, but at least 200,000 naval soldiers cannot be deployed. Only 600,000 can be deployed. The Shenlong Empire has nearly 100,000 Shura cavalry and 200,000 vassal troops on Changjing Island. The strength is very strong. A general of the Baiyu Empire said, we can deploy 600,000, so we should still have the advantage. We are only attacking Changjing Island. If we are afraid of this, what can we do against the Shenlong Empire? The people of the OS Empire, Baiyu Empire, and Red Maple Empire nodded one after another, and some people from the Vulture Empire also nodded. How could they admit that they were inferior to others without fighting on the battlefield with real swords and guns? Even when they had the advantage in numbers. Alexander said in a deep voice, everyone, you must not be careless when facing the Dragon Empire. If you are careless, there will be problems. We are facing a terrible opponent. 100,000 Shura cavalry can match hundreds of thousands of infantry. Besides, they have many tanks and various artillery shells. A general of the OSS Empire said, Governor, you can't boost others' ambitions and destroy our own prestige. As long as we win a game, we can seize a lot of weapons. By then, the Dragon Empire will only be defeated by us. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 555 Grandpa, General Meng, and the others are in danger. Baiyu Empire said, Governor, your 7 top warships can fly, and can attack together with the ground soldiers. Alexander frowned. Governor, is there anything you can't say? We are now fighting together, and we need to know the relevant situation. The general leading the OS Empire said. Alexander said, our top warships can indeed fly. Although the flying speed is not very fast, it is also faster than a horse. It's just that flying consumes a lot of energy. If you encounter an attack from a strongman from the Shenlong Empire, the power will be consumed even faster. The deterrent power of the top warships is greater than the actual combat power. Everyone talked about it, but they didn't know about this situation. After a while, the general of the OS Empire said, your top warships can be used as war bases. We can continue to advance and compress the enemy's living space. Your top warships are still very useful. Everyone nodded. The attack and defense of the top warships are equivalent to those of the perfect martial emperors. A full-strength attack can easily kill a large number of Shura cavalry. Governor, there are many powerful warriors at the level of Emperor Wu in the Dragon Empire, and we also have many top warriors. Don't worry too much about this. If we occupy a larger area, we can recruit more vassal troops and let them serve as cannon fodder to consume the enemy's artillery shells. The general of the Baiyu Empire said. Alexander nodded. He didn't want the top warships of the Vulture Empire to take risks, but if he wanted to win, the top warships needed to be deployed. If you are all ready, we will launch a second attack. Alexander said in a deep voice. Okay. Everyone agreed. Thousands of warships approached the coast where they had evacuated. There was a natural deepwater port here, which was suitable for their large-scale landing. Quick, quick. Everyone land quickly. Many generals urged, and a large number of soldiers landed quickly. After a few hours, 600,000 soldiers arrived on land. Forward, the target is Hengshui City ahead. Alexander's voice was heard from afar, and the 7 top warships of the Vulture Empire flew up, and they flew out in a circle. After advancing about 10 miles, these top warships landed on the ground. In this way, they would not have to consume a lot of strength when they landed and stopped. All top warriors, pay attention and strengthen your guard. It's best not to let the warriors of the Dragon Empire attack our warships. Alexander's order was passed out. Yes. Many top warriors replied in secret. Alexander was relieved. Last time, their warships were not well protected, and they only advanced a few miles. Now there are many strong men to protect them and they can go deep into the interior. Everyone listen up, march quickly. Don't fall behind, falling behind may mean death. The 600,000 army marched forward. After they advanced about 10 miles, 7 top warships took off again, and they flew forward about 10 miles. With the protection of these 7 top warships, the 600,000 army was much safer. General, their warships are 10 miles ahead again. They are not in a hurry, but advancing steadily. A strongman who is good at hiding detected the situation ahead and told Meng Yi. Meng Yi frowned secretly. Last time, they only faced the top warriors of the Vulture Empire, and they had the upper hand. Now there are the Os Empire, the Baiyu Empire, and the Red Maple Empire. The Red Maple Empire has a small population and few top warriors, but the Os Empire and the Baiyu Empire have many top warriors. In addition, the enemy has 7 top warships. They can burst out with the perfect level of the Martial Emperor. If the warships are consumed, the recovery speed will be much slower. General, it is not convenient for us to attack in the current situation. A general in front of Meng Yi said. Yeah. Meng Yi nodded slightly. If they continue to attack, they are likely to be attacked by the enemy's top warships. It is not a problem for a top warship to kill tens of thousands of soldiers. There are many soldiers in the top warships, and the cause and effect can be shared. The top warriors cannot be killed at will, but the top warships can kill many. General, there is another problem to consider. We can't let them take away our mortars, etc. Fortunately, the last time it was the cavalry chasing at the end, and they didn't bring many firearms. Another general said. Meng Yi looked at the map and said, we will take a defensive position and split into 2 parts, entering Changjing City and Yujing City respectively. These 2 cities are the largest, and the areas of power suppression around the cities are also larger. It is more advantageous for us to stay in these 2 cities. Someone asked in confusion, why don't we concentrate our forces? Meng Yi said, we have 100,000 people, plus 200,000 vassal troops, a total of 300,000 people plus more than 40,000 warhorses. One city cannot bear it. And there are many people in these 2 cities. If we don't occupy them, they can unscrupulously recruit many vassal troops. With our strength, it is not a big problem to defend these 2 cities. There were only 30,000 warhorses in front, and they have collected some warhorses everywhere in recent days, and now there are 45,000 horses. General, they now have 600,000 troops. By then, they will definitely be able to recruit a lot of vassal troops to jointly attack a city. The pressure on our defense will not be low. Another general said solemnly. Meng Yi smiled faintly and said, their warships cannot get near the city. With our strength, we should have no problem defending. Even if we will lose a lot of people, they will definitely die more. Everyone nodded. Gathering has its advantages, and dispersing has its advantages. Occupying 2 cities should be the best choice. Let's act. 50,000 people in each city, 100,000 vassal troops of the Blood Sakura Empire. Meng Yi said in a deep voice. Take a defensive position. I want to see if you can hold on. Alexander sneered. He got the news from Meng Yi and his team. Both sides have strong men who are good at hiding, and it is difficult to hide a large mobilization from the other side. Changjing City and Yujing City are 100 kilometers apart. The next day, Meng Yi and his team completed the layout. Alexander and his team also made a lot of progress and forcibly recruited 100,000 cannon fodder. The families of these cannon fodder were taken with them. Your Majesty, there is urgent military information from the Blood Sakura Emperor. A strongman from the Shenlong Empire returned to the Shendu and met Xiao Hai. Speak. Xiao Hai said in a deep voice. Your Majesty, General Meng Yi and his men have occupied Changjing City and Yujing City. The enemy is advancing continuously and has recruited many vassal troops. They have also brought the families of those vassal troops with them. General Meng Yi and others have analyzed that the enemy is likely to force those vassal troops to charge and let them consume our artillery shells. The strongman in front of Xiao Hai said. Xiao Hai frowned secretly. If the enemy continues to advance, there will definitely be more vassal troops. Are there any more? Xiao Hai asked. The other party talked for a while and then retreated. Dong dong. Xiao Hai arrived at the northern border of the Shenlong Empire and contacted Xiao Fan. Xiao Fan is now in the East China Sea Spirit Cave. Grandpa, you don't look very good. Is there a problem? Xiao Fan asked. Xiao Hai said in a deep voice, 600,000 people of the Four-Nation Alliance landed on Changjing Island, and they forcibly recruited vassal troops while advancing. Xiao Hai repeated the details. Xiao Fan frowned. Grandpa, General Meng Yi and his men are in danger. Huh? Xiao Hai showed a puzzled look in his eyes. Even if there are many enemies, Meng Yi and his men have a lot of artillery shells and are strong. It should be no problem to defend the city, right? Grandpa, I think they bring the families of those vassal soldiers, including the elderly, women and children, not just to threaten those vassal soldiers. They may let those people enter the city. There are more of them, and they are all unarmed elderly, women and children. How will General Meng Yi and his men deal with them then? Xiao Fan said in a deep voice. If General Meng Yi and his men kill them, the consumption of artillery shells will be very alarming, and doing so will make those vassal soldiers extremely angry. If they don't kill them, they will have tens of millions of people entering the city. Will there be enough food in the city? They will cause great chaos. Xiao Hai took a breath of cold air. They really didn't expect this. In the past, the people of the Blood Cherry Empire would not do this because those were their citizens, but now the Vulture Empire will care about this. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 556 preparing to go to another world. Grandpa, it shouldn't be a problem for the enemy to forcibly recruit 300,000 people. Their families should be more than 1 million, right? Xiao Fan asked. Xiao Hai nodded. The Four-Nation Alliance still has this ability. Grandpa, it would be a disaster if 1 million unarmed people rushed to the city controlled by General Meng and his men. If General Meng and his men don't attack, the Four-Nation Alliance will send 300,000 vassal troops later. What if they die on the battlefield? Will their 1 million families in the city go crazy? Xiao Fan analyzed. Xiao Hai looked extremely solemn. This question was fatal. Even in modern society, even in a large city with a population of tens of millions, it is a big problem to manage the sudden influx of 1 million refugees. If a riot really breaks out, Meng Yi and his men probably won't be able to control the situation. My dear grandson, then what do you think we should do in this situation? Xiao Hai asked. They have 9 powerful fleets over there, and we can't send more troops to provide support at the moment. Xiao Fan pondered for a moment and said, Grandpa, I have 2 plans. The worst plan is to disperse the troops and adopt guerrilla tactics, but this is a bit cowardly and may cause other countries to get involved. Even the people of the Blood Cherry Empire will kill our people in various ways. Xiao Hai said, if we disperse, they can continue to surround and nibble at us, and our losses will not be small. It will take a long time for our navy to reach their level. What about the best plan? Xiao Fan shook his head. Grandpa, there is no best plan, only a middle plan. Tell me. Xiao Fan said with a gleam in his eyes, the middle plan is, to massacre the city. In Changjing City and Yujing City, all the people of the Blood Cherry Empire will be killed, and their bodies will be sent to the outside of the city to be piled up into mountains of corpses. Let the vassal army under control take action. As long as they take action, they will be cut off from the Blood Cherry Empire. In addition, they have killed people from the Vulture Empire before, so they can only be dogs, and they will never dare to think of rebellion in the future. The second benefit is that this will greatly reduce the possibility of civil unrest in the 2 cities, and it can also reduce various pressures on the cities. The third benefit is that the massacre of the city will let the people of the Blood Cherry Empire know that they will die if they enter the city, so they dare not enter. If the Four-Nation coalition forces them to die, the vassal army may rebel. Another benefit is that the possibility of the Blood Cherry Empire targeting the Dragon Empire in the future will be greatly reduced. Xiao Hai pondered for a moment and said, My dear grandson, there are 4 benefits. Yours is the best strategy. How can it be a medium strategy? Xiao Fan shook his head and said, This will kill many people. Xiao Hai's eyes flashed with cold light. People from the Blood Cherry Empire, how can they be called human beings? As an emperor, I can't be soft-hearted. On one side, our soldiers died, and on the other side, the people of the enemy country died. There is no need to consider which choice to make. Xiao Fan nodded slightly. Grandpa, I will try to send you a 3000-4,000 ton cargo ship. The East China Sea Spirit Cave is much stronger. I hope it can be sent. There are currently a total of 12 3,000-4,000-ton cargo ships here. Xiaofan ordered 100 ships before, and 30 or 40 have been built. But according to the previous agreement, the Dragon Empire can only have 18 top warships, and currently the Dragon Empire already has 6 top warships. These 6 top warships cannot fly. They are not inferior to the top warships of the AUS Empire, but worse than those of the Vulture Empire. My dear grandson, you try. Grandpa is ready here. Xiao Hai said. Xiaofan is in the port dock at this time. The huge dock can park an aircraft carrier of 30,000 to 40,000 tons without any problem. The dock is semi-enclosed, with the opening facing the ocean. The freighter entered the dock, and satellites and people could not spy on it. Xiao Hai and Xiaofan's power quickly pulled a freighter forward, and the front end of the freighter touched the mirror and sank into it. On Xiao Hai's side, he and several other strong men were on full alert. Gradually, the middle section of the freighter also sank into the mirror. It took 10 minutes for the entire freighter to finally pass through. My dear grandson, the freighter has been successfully transmitted. But there is a problem. It needs to be very careful to transmit it now. It takes a long time. The spiritual cave channel on your side cannot be opened for a long time. Only 3 ships can be transmitted at a time. Xiao Hai said. Xiaofan hurriedly said, Grandpa, let's hurry up. About half an hour later, 3 freighters were transmitted. The spiritual cave channel also reached the time. The Donghai spiritual cave is a little behind the SS level, and the opening time is only half an hour. The spiritual cave on the Leishan County side can be opened for longer. Grandpa, how is your consumption? Don't consume too much now, so as not to be ambushed by the enemy. Xiaofan reminded. Xiao Hai said, the consumption is not bad, but it takes time to transmit it here. It is not bad to transmit 3 cargo ships of 4,000 to 5,000 tons. If the ship is big enough, we can arrange a stronger formation. Maybe we can arrange a floating formation at that time. How to arrange various powerful formations on a limited hull is a difficult problem. The Vulture Empire has rich experience in this regard. But the top warships of the Vulture Empire are only more than 3,000 tons. Now the cargo ship Xiao Hai has obtained is 4,000 to 5,000 tons. Even if the experience is not so rich, it is entirely possible to arrange a floating formation. Grandpa, let the people around you leave. Xiaofan said. Xiao Hai quickly signaled the people around him to leave first. Grandpa, I found an SSS-level spirit cave, a few thousand meters deep on the seabed, and the space cracks there are relatively stable. I am good at space abilities, I think I should be able to pass it. Xiaofan said. Xiao Hai's face changed slightly. My dear grandson, do you want to come through the space crack? Xiaofan nodded slightly. Grandpa, I have such a plan. There is already a martial emperor-level monster on Earth. Currently, the monster is in Hawaii, but there is no guarantee that it will go to China, or other top monsters will go to China. I can't deal with martial emperor-level monsters at the moment. If I pass through that space crack, I should be able to return before the Martial King level. I will practice in the other world much faster. Xiao Hai said, My dear grandson, do you plan to practice there instead of going to the Dragon Empire? Grandpa, I guess that the corresponding area is also the deep sea. I will go to the Dragon Empire and may encounter risks along the way. Anyway, I have the resources for practice, as long as I get to the other world. Xiaofan said. Xiao Hai considered that Xiaofan's practice at the beginning of the Great Martial Sect was indeed a bit low in his opinion, and he would break through in 8 or 9 months at most. My dear grandson, if you have made up your mind, Grandpa supports you. It would be better if your cultivation level improves quickly. Grandpa will break through in 8 or 9 months. If he ascends, your cultivation level will not be strong enough, and the risk of you becoming the emperor will not be low. It is better to take the risk. Xiao Hai thought for a while and said. Xiaofan nodded, Grandpa, I think so too. Grandpa, we will contact each other once every 7 days in the future. Next time, let's go to the East China Sea Spirit Cave. I will send more cargo ships over. Xiao Hai nodded, my dear grandson, be careful, there may be small cracks in the large space cracks, don't be careless. Midline horizontal ellipsis Chapter 557, Massacre in Two Cities 2 hours later, a martial emperor-level warrior from the Shenlong Empire arrived at Changjing City. Meng Yi was in Changjing City at this time. General Meng, His Majesty ordered you to massacre the city. The warrior Xia Liangchen who came over said. Meng Yi's face changed slightly. General Xia, why is this? General Meng, here is His Majesty's handwriting. Xia Liangchen took out a letter from Xiao Hai. From the space treasure. Meng Yi broke out in a cold sweat after reading it. He felt that it was safer to defend the city, but according to what Xiao Hai said, if they continued like this, they would most likely die. If tens of millions of women, children, and the elderly poured into Changjing City would be in absolute chaos. What city would they still defend? Killing them at that time would only arouse the anger of the vassal army outside the city. Your Majesty is still wise. Meng Yi said with a long breath. Xia Liangchen said, General Meng, this was not His Majesty's idea, but His Highness's idea. I was next to His Majesty at the time. I see. Your Highness is smart. If he becomes an emperor in the future, it will be a blessing for our Shenlong Empire. Meng Yi said. He had met Xiaofen before, and he had no objection to Xiaofen becoming the emperor. Among the generals, Meng Yi was one of Xiao Hai's die-hard supporters. He had followed Xiao Hai in the rebellion from the beginning. General Meng, you have to hurry up. Also, you should think about how to act specifically. Xia Liangchen said in a deep voice. How to safely massacre the city is also a technical job. Well. Meng Yi quickly discussed a plan with others. When Xia Liangchen arrived in Yujing City, he told the people in Yujing City about the plan. Young and middle-aged men from Changjing City and Yujing City gathered together. The number of both sides was about the same, about 200,000. In order to prevent you from making trouble when the enemy attacks the city, your right thumb will be cut off, and those who resist will be killed without mercy. Meng Yi said murderously. How can this be? Without the right thumb, your life will be affected in the future. You can't do this. Many of the 200,000 people complained. Their complaints soon led to more complaints from others. Meng Yi did not stop them immediately. Soon, more and more people complained. With more people, they were bolder. They did not want to obey. Come on, kill all those who are making the most noise. Meng Yi gave the order with a cold expression. Yes. Tens of thousands of Shura cavalrymen holding tang swords rushed towards the crowd like tigers. They had just noted down who was making the most noise. Puff. Puff. Soon, the Blood Cherry Empire killed thousands of people. The rest of them squatted on the ground in horror. Don't kill them, we'll cut them off. Don't kill them. Many of the remaining survivors screamed in horror. There were 195,000 of them. If they resisted, even if they were unarmed, they could cause considerable damage to Meng Yi and his men. But they did not dare to resist. It was just cutting off a thumb. They did not need to fight for it. You, go up and carry out the mission. Cut 2 each, and take turns in teams. Meng Yi ordered the vassal army. 10,000 of the 100,000 vassal army went up first, and they carried knives. Ah! Soon screams came one after another. 10,000 vassal soldiers cut off 20,000 thumbs, all of which were right thumbs. The people whose thumbs were cut had much lower resistance. After the 10,000 vassal soldiers completed their mission and withdrew, the second group of people went up and spent 2 hours. The remaining 15,000 young and strong men all lost their right thumbs. Can we leave now? Someone shouted. Meng Yi swept his eyes and saw hatred in the eyes of many people. This general is very dissatisfied with the look in the eyes of some of you. All vassal soldiers, listen up, go up and tie them all up. This general will have people check their eyes one by one. Meng Yi said in a deep voice. The 100,000 vassal soldiers were in the inner circle. Some of them had already felt something was wrong, and some of the 195,000 young and strong men also felt something was wrong. But they were surrounded by tens of thousands of Shura cavalrymen holding strong bows and wearing heavy armor, and there were many bombs in their area. Not many people dared to resist. Everyone knew that if they were to be troublemakers, they would definitely die. Thousands of troublemakers had already died in front of them. "Why don't you execute the order?" another general said sternly. The 100,000 vassal soldiers came forward. They had killed the people of the Vulture Empire before, and just cut off the thumbs of these people. They had no way to retreat. The 195,000 people were tied up. Their mouths were stuffed. All vassal soldiers listened to the order: "Kill these people, you can live, otherwise, you will die with these people." Meng Yi issued an order again. The countless people who were tied up were extremely horrified, but their mouths were stuffed, and they couldn't shout even if they wanted to. "I'll give you 2 breaths of time to think about it. If there is no action in 3 breaths, die," Meng Yi said in a deep voice. Tens of thousands of Shura Legion soldiers aimed their bows and arrows at the 100,000 vassal troops. As long as they fired their arrows, they would fall down in large numbers. The 100,000 vassal troops were nothing in front of the 50,000 Shura iron cavalry. As expected, many of the 100,000 vassal troops looked extremely ugly. Those who were tied up were all their compatriots, but now if they didn't take action, they would die. They had no choice. Kill. In less than 3 breaths, the 100,000 vassal troops took action. They took action one after another, and soon all the tied people died. "I'll give you a task. Massacre the city. You must complete the task before tomorrow morning, otherwise you will die," Meng Yi said murderously. He didn't have much psychological burden. Dongyang Kingdom had massacred the city in the Shenlong Empire before. What? Many of the 100,000 vassal troops changed their faces. Meng Yi said coldly, "The people you just killed are the fathers, husbands, and sons of the others. Do you still want to show mercy? If you are loyal to the end, you can live well in the future. If you don't follow orders, you will all die." Many of the 100,000 vassal soldiers were already bloodthirsty, and they rushed out of the barracks. One night passed. The entire Changjing city was much quieter. The 100,000 vassal soldiers were reduced to about 90,000, and they also had about 10,000 deaths. 99% of the rest of the people in the city died. There are very few hiding. The situation is similar in Yujing City. In other countries, such killings, even in the White Elephant Empire, Meng Yi and his men may not bear it, but not in Dongyang. There is a blood feud between the 2 countries. Besides, they didn't kill the people. Transport the bodies outside the city, Meng Yi said in a deep voice. Xiaofen had sent many large trucks before, hundreds of large trucks were moving, and a large number of bodies were delivered to a place 8 or 9 miles away from the city. Swish. A strongman arrived on one of the top battleships of the Vulture Empire. "Governor, I'm afraid your previous plan won't work." The visitor came to Alexander and said. "Huh." Alexander was puzzled. His plan should have no loopholes. The visitor said, "Meng Yi and his men massacred the city. They also spread the news that whichever place in the Blood Cherry Empire has the most people joining us, that place will also be massacred in the future." Alexander's face darkened. Meng Yi and his men were so decisive. In this way, it would be much more difficult for them to recruit vassal troops, and their original plan would indeed be difficult to implement. Midline Horizontal Ellipsis Chapter 558, Attacking the Four-Nation Alliance Blood Sakura Empire. The news of the massacre of Changjing City and Yujing City spread quickly. "We shouldn't have provoked the Dragon Empire. Now we are in big trouble. The Dragon Empire is fighting with the Vulture Empire. Why should we, the Blood Sakura Empire, get involved? If we continue like this, we will be destroyed. Everyone, don't join the Four-Nation Alliance, otherwise we will be in danger." Countless people in the Blood Sakura Empire talked about it. In the past, when the Blood Sakura Empire was defeated, many of them were still very angry. When the Four-Nation Alliance recruited people, some of them were very enthusiastic to join. Now that Changjing City and Yujing City have been massacred, many people in the Blood Sakura Empire feel cold in their hearts, and their enthusiasm has been completely extinguished. Many people in the Blood Sakura Empire originally thought that the war would not involve them anyway, so it would be fine for them to support the war. Now they know that if the nest is overturned, there will be no eggs left. General, according to the results of our investigation, the people of the Blood Sakura Empire are not very angry, they are only left with fear. A strongman came to Meng Yi and reported. Yes. Meng Yi nodded and he breathed a sigh of relief. He had not considered massacring the city before because he was afraid that this would completely arouse the anger of the people of the Blood Cherry Empire. Now it seems that he was worrying too much. The people of the Blood Cherry Empire fear power but not virtue. Beat them to death, and they will surrender from the bottom of their hearts. What about the recruitment of vassal troops by the Four-Nation Alliance? Meng Yi asked. General, it is much more difficult for them to recruit vassal troops. Many people in the city of the Blood Cherry Empire have now fled the city. Many of them hid in the mountains. There are also many young and strong people who chose to hide in cellars and other places. The strongman in front of Meng Yi reported. Yeah. Meng Yi nodded slightly. On the side of the Four-Nation Alliance, Alexander was very annoyed. The recruitment of vassal troops was not going smoothly, and the vassal troops that were originally recruited were in low morale. They deliberately delayed the march. Originally, the vassal troops hated the Dragon Empire, and they were more cooperative and marched very fast. Now the vassal troops know that the Four-Nation Alliance recruited them and took their families with them, and wanted to let their families die. Changjing City and Yujing City were massacred. If their families were driven into the city, they would definitely die. It would be the same if they entered the city themselves. It would be strange if they didn't delay in this situation. General, I think we need to let them know the price of resistance. A general in front of Alexander said in a deep voice. Alexander frowned. The banner they raised was to help the people of the Blood Sakura Empire, to maintain democracy and freedom, and to maintain the order of the whole world. It would be fine if they forcibly recruited soldiers, but did they also massacre the city? What's wrong with the people of the Blood Sakura Empire? Meng Yi and his men massacred 2 cities, but not many of them joined us in anger to resist the tyranny of the Dragon Empire. A general of the OS Empire said puzzledly. Alexander rubbed his temple and said, this is their national character, bullying the weak and fearing the strong, just like the Dongyang Kingdom on Earth. 2 mushroom bombs from the United States have resulted in the Dongyang Kingdoms kneeling and licking. Recruiting vassal troops is still necessary, send more people into the city. Forget about the families of the vassal army. Alexander's order was quickly executed. 2 hours later, they had 10,000 people approaching a city. This city was relatively large and had strong suppression power. Boss, the enemy is coming. There are more people than we estimated, I'm afraid there are 10,000 people. Someone entered a remote courtyard in the city and reported. More people. Then we can do more. Brothers, let's give them a big surprise. Even if we die here, we will die for a good cause. The speaker was a middle-aged man, a centurion. He led 100 men to ambush here. He had a space treasure on him, which contained 50 mortars and some short-range rockets, which were loaded with thermobaric bombs. Brothers, let's go. Soon the 100 men set off quickly. They were wearing the armor of the Shura Corps and saw that the people of the Blood Cherry Empire quickly avoided them. Who are you? Near the city, some soldiers of the Blood Cherry Empire stopped in front. Shenlong Empire, Shura Corps. If you stop us from carrying out our mission, your city will be massacred. The leading centurion said sternly. The faces of the Blood Cherry Empire soldiers who were blocking the way changed. Many of their families were in the city. If the city was massacred, their families would also die. Get out of the way. The centurion drew his sword and shouted. The soldiers of the Blood Cherry Empire in front of them stepped aside one after another. Soon, the soldiers of the Dragon Empire climbed up the city wall. The Four-Nation coalition was only 1 or 2 kilometers away from the city. There was no obstacle to entering the city, so they could move forward boldly. It rained last night and there was a lot of mud on both sides of the road. A large number of soldiers were crowded on the road, and they did not realize that danger was coming. Come out. The centurion let many rockets in his space treasure go outside. Quick. Act as planned. The centurion said in a deep voice. His men acted quickly. These rockets were low cost and not very accurate, but they were filled with thermobaric bombs, so low accuracy was not a big problem. Boom. 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 A huge sound rang out, and rockets took off one by one, rushing into the sky with long tongues of fire. Not good. Enemy attack, enemy attack. Tens of thousands of enemy troops outside the city soon saw the rockets. Even in broad daylight, the flames of these rockets were very conspicuous. Dodge, dodge quickly. Avoid the attack immediately. The enemy was immediately in a panic. The rockets that rushed into the sky drew a parabola and rushed towards them. Boom. Boom. Rockets fell and thermobaric bombs exploded. These thermobaric bombs were not giant ones, but the range of each one could reach tens or hundreds of meters. The ultra-high temperature and ultra-high pressure generated by their explosions were a nightmare for the enemy, and it was difficult for people within 100 meters to survive. Quick, quick. Let them know how powerful we are. They used warships to kill more than 20,000 of our brothers before. The centurion said sternly. On their side, thermobaric rockets were fired one after another, and the outside of the city turned into a living hell in a short time. Ah! Help! Many people in the four-nation coalition screamed. They were still lucky. More were directly killed, and they didn't even have the qualifications to scream. Too cruel. The people of the Dragon Empire can't be provoked. A little further away, some soldiers of the Blood Sakura Empire were horrified. Boss, the rockets are all fired. Soon, dozens of rockets were all fired. Switch to mortars to blow them up. The centurion said in a deep voice. They had 50 mortars and 3,000 mortar shells. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 559 successfully arrived in another world. Bang, bang, bang. Mortar shells kept flying out and exploding outside the city. Huagua had a fear of insufficient firepower. Xiaohai was the emperor, so he naturally had it too. The firepower of a 100-man team was so brutal. Boss, half of the shells have been fired. Shall we continue? One of them reported not long after. Fire them all. They won't give us such a good opportunity again. Let's find a place to hide after we finish firing. The centurion ordered. 70 to 80% of the enemies outside the city had died, but there were still many alive. Yes. 50 mortars continued to bombard. The enemies were scattered a lot, and the killing effect of the shells was reduced, but they could still bomb some unlucky people. Not long after, all the shells were fired. Gather all the mortars together. The centurion ordered. 50 mortars were gathered together, and a bomb was buried under them. The bomb exploded, and all the mortars were blown to pieces. Even if they died, these mortars would not fall into the hands of the enemy, and this would reduce the enemy's motivation to search for them. Retreat. Soon they retreated to a tunnel and disappeared. In order to cope with the bombing of the Dragon Empire, the Blood Cherry Empire had people build many tunnels underground, many of which were connected to each other. Some tunnels even had hidden caves. Everyone listen, don't run around, there are mines buried in the tunnel. Everyone listen, the centurion and his men advanced in the tunnel, and they kept shouting. There were some people from the Blood Cherry Empire hiding in the tunnel, and they couldn't let them detonate the mines, which were very useful. There are mines buried in the passage. In addition to shouting, they also put up signs one by one. Half an hour later, the people from the Dragon Empire hid. Governor, there was a sneak attack from the Dragon Empire in the city. They used thermobaric rockets and mortars, and we suffered heavy casualties. Someone came to Alexander and trembled. His chest was stained red, and shrapnel shot into his body, but he was lucky enough to escape and save his life. This man has the cultivation of the king of martial arts. As long as he leaves the area where his strength is suppressed, the injury will not be a big deal with his cultivation. How many casualties? Alexander said with an extremely ugly face. The troops that entered the city to recruit were not vassal troops, but their four-nation coalition army. General, we lost nearly 9,000 people, and many of the remaining people were injured. The visitor said bitterly. What? Alexander's face changed drastically. They had a total of 10,000 people, but 9,000 people died. Governor, the enemy's firepower is too strong. A total of dozens of thermobaric bombs were fired, and thousands of mortar shells were fired. Alexander was extremely angry. Are you all pigs? Can't you enter the city in batches? The visitor said bitterly, "Governor, we sent people into the city to explore in advance, and we didn't find any traces of the enemy at all. We didn't expect that their small group of enemies were hiding inside." Alexander said in a deep voice, "How many enemies are there?" "Governor, there should be only 100 people." Alexander wanted to vomit blood. 100 people killed 9,000 of them. "Come on, send someone over. We must dig deep to find them," Alexander said sternly. Earth, Xiaofen once again reached the depths of the Pacific Ocean. The deep-sea devil shark was still in Hawaii. It did not kill on a large scale, but it prevented anyone on Oahu from leaving. Planes or ships would be attacked if they tried to leave. The same would apply if they tried to get close. Oahu was not the largest island in Hawaii, but it had the largest population, and the deep-sea devil shark chose this place as its territory. Sure enough, this spirit cave is more stable, Xiaofen thought to himself. He found the SSS-level spirit cave in the deep sea. Compared with when he left before, the space crack here has not changed much. This space crack is like a cave deep underground. Unlike the cave, the space crack is constantly changing. I hope nothing will happen. Xiaofen took a deep breath and restrained all his breath, so as not to stimulate the space crack when he entered it. Escape. Soon Xiaofen entered the space crack. He paid close attention to the situation around him. As long as there was any abnormality, he would immediately choose to retreat and withdraw. Fortunately, everything was normal. Xiaofen moved forward cautiously. The widest part of this space crack was 20 to 30 meters, and the narrowest part was only 5 to 6 meters. The deep-sea devil shark should have become smaller to pass through. Soon, Xiaofen's face changed slightly. He found a small hidden space crack. This space crack was less than half a meter, and it was there quietly. It should be impossible for ordinary martial arts level monsters to discover its existence. The consciousness of ordinary strong men swept over it, and there was nothing there. But if the body passes through there, the space crack will immediately cut the body apart, and even a martial emperor level strongman cannot resist it. That deep-sea devil shark is lucky not to encounter this thing, Xiaofen muttered in his heart. He continued to move forward. In the entire large space crack, Xiaofen found a total of more than a dozen small space cracks. Most of these space cracks are close to the side. If not, the deep-sea devil shark would not be able to pass through. The exit is here. Xiaofen's eyes lit up, and he found the exit of the space crack. Soon Xiaofen passed through a layer of space membrane. The space membrane can prevent seawater from entering the space crack, but it will not prevent spiritual energy, nor can it prevent monsters or people from passing through. Wow, such a strong pressure. Xiaofen felt the extremely strong water pressure when he passed through the space membrane. Fortunately, his space shield has good defense. The depth here must be more than 10,000 meters. Xiaofen floated up quickly. When he surfaced, Xiaofen confirmed that this spirit cave was at a depth of 15,000 meters, and the water pressure at such a depth was very terrifying. Xiaofen's eyes lit up. He found a small island not far from him. He had a yacht in his dimensional bag. He thought he would have to practice on the yacht. It would be much more convenient if there was an island nearby. Soon Xiaofen arrived at the island. There were plants on the island, but there was no one on the island. There were no monsters either. There were some seabirds. The seeds of the plants were probably brought by the seabirds. This place is good. Xiaofen quickly found a place to dig out a stone cave. The sea breeze was quite comfortable. Hiss. Sitting cross-legged, Xiaofen quickly began to practice. Soon he was shocked. The speed of practice here was much faster than on Earth. Since knowing the effect of radish, Xiaofen would eat it almost every meal. He would also chew a raw radish when he had nothing to do. He also absorbed a lot of golden dragon marrow before. This practice speed is 60 to 70 times that of the Earth. Xiaofen muttered to himself. He estimated that practicing here for 5 or 6 days would be equivalent to practicing on Earth for a year. There would be no problem in reaching the middle stage of the great martial sect. It is worth mentioning that the effect of practice will be stronger in the first few days. According to the experience of Su Yowei and others, it will drop to about 50 times later, and the practice speed will be about 10 times that of the top geniuses here. Ordinary Chinese people don't come here that fast, and their cultivation speed is definitely not as fast as the top talents here. But as long as they have eaten a lot of radishes, the Chinese here can be called geniuses, and it will definitely be no problem to work hard to reach the martial arts master level. Midline horizontal ellipsis chapter 560 global public opinion pressure boom. In just 3 days, Xiao Fan's cultivation broke through. Golden dragons circled around him, and spiritual energy from all directions quickly gathered around him, and these spiritual energy continued to penetrate into his body. I broke through so quickly. Xiao Fan was amazed. At the great martial sect level, the difficulty of breaking through has increased a lot. If it were on Earth, without Xiao Hai's dragon energy transmission, Xiao Fan estimated that it would take him more than half a year to break through. Now it's only 3 days. Another 3 days passed, and Xiao Fan felt that the speed of cultivation had slowed down a little. His cultivation was not far from the late stage of the great martial sect. In just a few days, his strength has improved a lot. His cultivation has improved. If Xiao Hai gives him powerful space ability beads in the future, his combat power will definitely reach the level of Martial Emperor after digesting them. I have to go back. Grandpa needs more powerful warships. Xiao Fan said in his heart. He entered the sea and kept diving. His cultivation improved and he arrived near the spirit cave. Xiao Fan felt that the pressure of the sea water had decreased a little, and he quickly escaped into the space crack. There were still some small cracks in the space crack, and their positions had changed, but this did not affect Xiao Fan. A few minutes later, Xiao Fan successfully passed through the space crack. He felt the familiar breath on this side of the earth. The spiritual energy gap is really huge. Xiao Fan thought to himself. When he came here, he felt that his cultivation speed slowed down. If it was a supercar running at a speed of 300 km per hour, now it has been reduced to 5 or 6 km per hour, which is the speed of walking. Ting! Xiao Fan told the lightning snow sculpture to come back at this time. He flew out of the sea, and the lightning snow sculpture quickly rushed down from the sky. Xiao Fan landed on the back of the lightning snow sculpture. Lightning, go slowly first. Xiao Fan ordered, and he took out the satellite phone from the dimension bag. Ding! Xiao Fan called Jiang Wanchen. Director Jiang, I'm back. Xiao Fan said. Jiang Wanchen breathed a sigh of relief on the other end of the phone. Xiao Fan told him before he left that he had been worried for several days. If Xiao Fan had an accident in the other world, it would be a heavy blow to China, and China's development would definitely be much slower. Master Xiao, you are finally back. Jiang Wanchen said. Xiao Fan said, Director Jiang, I've only been away for a few days. Could a huge disaster have happened during these few days? Jiang Wanchen said, there hasn't been a huge disaster in our China. The deep-sea devil sharks in Hawaii have rioted again. A lot of people died over there again. Global public opinion is now putting all kinds of pressure on you, asking you to step in to solve the problem based on humanitarian ideas and earth peace. Xiao Fan raised his eyebrows, those media have become courageous. Jiang Wanchen said, the deep-sea devil sharks bring a lot of pressure to the United States. Naturally, there are all kinds of pressure from the United States behind them. Besides, they think they occupy the moral high ground. Master Xiao, don't destroy another U.S. aircraft carrier just because of what those media say. That's not good. Xiao Fan chuckled, Director Jiang, I know my limits. It's not necessary to destroy a U.S. aircraft carrier because of this. But the more they do this, the less likely I am to go over to help. Jiang Wanchen said, Xiao Fan, there's one more thing. Earth has received news from another world. The Dragon Empire has massacred the Blood Cherry Empire. This has a significant impact. Xiao Fan narrowed his eyes. Director Jiang, this is a war, not a joke. What did the United States say when it dropped mushroom bombs on Dongyang? The Dragon Empire and the Blood Cherry Empire have a blood feud. Jiang Wanchen said, Master Xiao, I don't think this is bad, but many media around the world are reporting this now. Our country is under a lot of pressure. There are also some voices of opposition in the country. It's not easy for the country to deal with this, maybe you have to do it yourself. It's really not easy for the country to deal with wars involving other worlds and massacres. Xiao Fan can handle it better by himself. Yeah. After hanging up the phone, Xiao Fan pondered. A few minutes later, Xiao Fan silently sent 2 pictures. There were 2 mushroom clouds in the pictures. Like the Dongyang Kingdom back then, the Blood Cherry Empire was an invader. In history, the Blood Cherry Empire also brought great harm to the people of the Dragon Empire. Without iron-blooded means, you can't suppress the wealth, wolves, tigers, and leopards. Xiao Fan also added text below the picture. Douyin sent it out, and many netizens who follow Xiao Fan soon saw it. I felt a little bit reluctant before, but after Master Xiao made this comparison, I suddenly felt that the massacre of the city was completely acceptable. The Blood Cherry Empire turned out to be a piece of shit like Dongyang. That's fine. If massacring 2 cities is not enough, then massacring 10 cities. That's how the United States dealt with invaders back then. Now the Western media is blaming the Dragon Empire. Isn't that a bit double standard? Don't be misled by bad media. This is different from the tragedy in our country back then. We are not invaders. In a short period of time, a large number of comments emerged. Some Chinese netizens originally sympathized with the Blood Cherry Empire, but when Dongyang was substituted for the Blood Cherry Empire, they suddenly couldn't sympathize with it. When the news spread, the Western media quickly fell silent. They were used to double standards, but when Xiao Fan stood up to oppose it, they still forced it, which was shameless. Commander-in-Chief, Xiao Fan has set the fire on us. Should we still force major media to report it? A staff member of the American hacker reported. Forget it, let's just leave it at that. China has withstood the pressure for a few days, and it's useless to pressure again. The US Commander-in-Chief shook his head. He hoped that after the pressure, China would agree not to send warships to the other world, but how could the Chinese elder be fooled? If he didn't know that Xiao Hai was the emperor, he might be a little worried. Would the Dragon Empire then retaliate against China? Now he is not worried at all. A few hours later, Xiao Fan arrived at the East China Sea Spirit Cave. In a few hours, it would be the time he and Xiao Hai agreed to meet. Master Xiao. Jiang Wanchen was actually waiting here, and he greeted Xiao Fan when he saw him. Director Jiang, what's the matter? Are you afraid that I will be controlled by the strong men in the other world when I go to the other world? I didn't see anyone in the other world. I went to the ocean over there through the space crack and practiced on an island for a few days. Xiao Fan chuckled. Jiang Wanchen said, Master Xiao, the fighting sound you sent has greatly reduced the public's opposition, and the Western media has basically silenced. But there is still a problem. Xiao Fan asked, what is the problem? Jiang Wanchen frowned and said, the elder told me that some people in the upper echelons are worried and think that the Dragon Empire is a bit cruel. Afraid of backlash in the future. The public will not consider so much, but some people in the upper echelons have to consider it. Even Elder Lu is a little worried. Some of Elder Lu and his people want to meet the powerful people from another world that you contacted. Midline horizontal ellipsis.